With the beginning of October, the college football world greets conference play. Intensity increases. A new sense of urgency takes over. WAC bragging rights take on a fevered pitch. Today, the Rice Owls, historically one of the nation's premier ground attacks, look to continue their dominance of Tulsa, having never lost to the Golden Hurricane. While Tulsa has ideas of their own with their balanced offensive scheme, Coach Dave Rader will be looking for career win number 50 in this historic 100th year of University of Tulsa football. Next on Fox Sports Net. Welcome to Skelly Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as Fox Sports Net presents Western Athletic Conference football. Today, the University of Tulsa at home to take on the Rice Owls, both enter with records of 1-3. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Land alongside Gary Reasons. Glad to have you aboard for the WAC opener for the Rice Owls. Tulsa home for the first time in a month. They come in at 1-3. Not a lot of similarities, though, in these two, including how they get here.
Well, both teams, they do things a lot differently on the field, especially offensively. You take the Rice Owls, for example, they're a predominant running team. They run the spread option football attack. They run it very, very well. And conversely, Dave Rader's offense here for Tulsa, they like to spread the field with a lot of wide receivers on the field, throwing the ball all over the place. Should be fun to watch.
When you take a look at today's game, the spotlight really on the quarterbacks, particularly with the Rice Owls and the option game. That means you start things with Chad Richardson.
Well, senior Chad Richardson for the Rice Owls runs that offensive attack. He has to be the catalyst and play very well. Actually, their number 2 and 3 quarterbacks didn't even make the trip. They're gone, so if Chad goes down, could be trouble for the Owls.
All right, now on the other side of the University of Tulsa, Dave Rader's been going with 2 quarterbacks, the veteran Michael Wall, and then the youngster Josh Blankenship, who they're very high on for the future, but he's playing now.
Well, they're playing both quarterbacks. Michael Wall has started all the games this season so far. Has done a pretty good job, but they want to put Josh Blankenship, a very highly touted recruit coming into Tulsa. He's got a lot of poise, a lot of talent, shows some good things on the field, and they want to get him in the ballgame today. All
right, we expect a good one. It's a glorious day for college football here as Tulsa back home after the road loss against San Jose State last weekend in the WAC opener. And for the Rice Owls, it is their WAC opener. They're coming off a victory at home over the Naval Academy. It's Tulsa and Rice coming up on Fox Sports Net. Welcome back to Skelly Stadium in Tulsa. University of Tulsa and Rice, WAC football today on Fox Sports Net. Bill Land and Gary Reasons with you here at Skelly Stadium for the morning kickoff as the Hurricane will be receiving the football. Rice won the coin toss and deferred, and TU will start off offensively against the Owls. Both are 1-3, and Grimes will kick it off. Scott Grimes got the big leg for Rice to boot it off, and for the University of Tulsa, they will have deep John Mosley, number 5, also their leading rusher. Here's Grimes' kick. Mosley will down it in the end zone. Got the advice there from Spencer Braggs, and Tulsa will come out first and 10 on its own 20-yard line. And for the Golden Hurricane, that means quarterback Michael Wall will start things off. He is 6'4", 203, a junior from Washington, Pennsylvania. Thrown for 3 touchdowns this year and 499 yards. He's had 4 intercepted. Is completing over 60% of his passes. Much of that came on a 14 of 15 night in the season opener against Southwest Missouri State. And Tulsa, first and 10 on the 20. The lone running back will be Mosley. Gets the carry. And the Hurricane almost gets the first down on the first pop. A 9-yard run by Mosley. Hebert and Dawson make the tackle for the Owls. Good look at Wall, 6'4", 203 out of Washington, Pennsylvania. Tulsa recruits heavily in that area. And Wall, the starter in each game this year. Now the rest of the offense for Tulsa, speaking of Pennsylvania, Aaron Haddock up front leads that offensive line, a 300-pounder. The backs and receivers, the best of the bunch is Savage, an all-WAC performer who's moving up the career TU charts, passing some big names. The draw, and should be, well, we'll see where they spot the football. Looks like Ken Bohannon got stopped a little shy. See where they mark it, as Irwin and Hebert made the tackle that time for the Owls. And it is a first down for the Golden Hurricane. And here's how Rice sets up defensively. It's the J line and Judd Smith, the senior, to anchor it up front for the Owls. The linebackers, Dawson, their leading tackler on the year. He's all over the football field. And in the secondary, Hebert, a sophomore. He's a heck of a player, though. And it's 1st and 10 for Tulsa now on the opening possession. And a timeout called by quarterback Michael Wall. As Tulsa sees something from Rice on the opening possession that they didn't like. And Ken Hatfield, of course, Rice is a team that runs the football, but Ken Hatfield, he's concerned about throwing the football today and the weather conditions here.
You've got to run the ball good against Tulsa at Tulsa because the wind blows. And the wind affects the passing game more than it does the running game. And so whether you're throwing the ball into the wind or throwing with the wind, it's a harder time to keep your passing game going in a windy day. And the wind always blows here. The other big factor will be who can do the best job controlling the clock going into the wind. So you minimize the number of punts you actually have to have into the wind. That's going to be a hidden yardage situation in the game against Tulsa.
Coach Hatfield goes way back to folks here at the University of Tulsa. Of course, he used to be the coach at Arkansas and was at Clemson in between, and he and Coach Rader have got a pretty good rivalry of their own. His 6th year at Rice, 27-31-1, and you know what you're going to see offensively. Defensively, though, this team has really surprised some folks, even though they played that meat grinder early schedule. After the timeout, Wall on 1st down, complete to the 35, and maybe another 1st down out to the 40-yard line, where Dan Dawson and McMillan make the tackle on the University of Tulsa's Gerald Smith, the senior from Webster, Texas, making his 10th reception of the year, and very close to moving the chains one more time.
Bill, when I talked to Rice's coaches this week, they told me they were really afraid of how Tulsa was going to start this football game. They have a lot of multiple personnel situations. They're going with a no huddle. That's the type of offense that they run. They can walk up the line of scrimmage. They're going with a 2 tight end package early in the ball game. It's being effective.
2nd and short. Let's see if Tulsa, well, can keep it facing. Mosley has the 1st down as he gets to the 41-yard line, and Smith and Jackson make the tackle. Yeah, people talk about playing the option game and preparing. It's a little preparation process to get ready for a no-huddle team like Tulsa.
Well, they try to minimize the defensive substitutions by running the no-huddle, but in reality, it's not a no-huddle where you walk up the line of scrimmage and you go boom, boom, boom. They're trying to run the plays effectively. They actually look for the defense to commit, and they'll call some plays from the sideline while the players are at the line of scrimmage. It's a little unique.
1st and 10 for the Hurricane from the 41. Opening possession with 12:57 to go, first quarter here at Skelly Stadium. Wall dumps it over the middle, and it is complete at the 46-yard line as Keith Carey makes the reception, a 6'1", 246-pound junior out of Dallas. Head coach Dave Rader has seen his club shell-shocked in the last 3 weeks as they have been outscored by over 100 points. He says they better improve now.
So what we've really tried to do this week in preparing for Rice, which you have to do every time you play them, is do the things that we do and do them better. Do the things that we do and do them better. Do the things that you do them better. And that's been our emphasis. Not to throw out stuff, maybe limit things to do. But whatever that is, it's doing better. That's where we are right now.
Well, he's got to be pleased so far. That's the first play that hasn't shown something positive here and almost picked off as you look at head coach Dave Rader in his 12th year. They're coming off a 4-7 campaign.
Well, Dave Rader wants to make some improvement offensively. They haven't had a lot of success so far this year. This last play, for instance, Bill, they went with 5 wide receivers. One of the things that they will do with this offense, 1, 2, 3, 4 wide, 5 wide receivers in the ball game. It's tough for a defense to defend an attack like this, and they have to be well prepared.
A lot of different looks from the Hurricane. 3rd down. And complete in the flat. And 1st down and more across midfield. And still going at the 35. And the Hurricane in scoring position now as Dawson makes the tackle. And what looked like it would be a short gainer is turned into a big play by Corey Brown.
Well, this is just execution by Tulsa's offense. Little slip flat pass here to the outside. And watch the missed tackles on the outside. Got good enough speed to get down the field and at the top of your screen. See the missed tackle on the sideline? You have to make that play as a defender in the secondary coming across. Otherwise, you give up the big play, which is what happened here.
27 yards on the pickup for Corey Brown, a junior from Lone Grove, Oklahoma. 1st and 10, Tulsa, the ball on the 20. Mosley to roam back. Gets the carry. Bounces off the first line, and maybe a short loss on the play as Clint Johnson, a sophomore from Mesquite, Texas, and Joe Bob Thompson also making the stop for the Rice Owls. Keys to victory today. A lot of things to look for in this ball game. First of all, what about Rice?
Well, for Rice, their offense really needs to average 4 yards or better per carry. When they rush the football, that's what they like to do. And obviously, ball control goes with that. They take care of the football very well, time of possession. And offensively and defensively, they need to get better in the turnover game. They've had a lot of turnovers go against them this year and hasn't done a good job. Spread the ball to receivers for Tulsa. We've seen that so far, move it around, and run when they want to and when they need to. That's what they need to get done today. They're so far accomplishing that early on, Bill.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Wall looking across the middle, incomplete to Gerald Smith. That'll stop the clock at 10:50 here in the first period.
You know, I talked about Ken Hatfield and his approach coming into this ball game. He said he was really scared about what Tulsa might do offensively. Remember, a year ago, they went 74 yards on the opening drive against the Owls to go for a touchdown. They're moving the ball effectively down the field now and at the 20-yard line.
Tulsa again setting up with a no huddle as Hatfield strolls the sidelines. Hurricane 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Ball out of the shotgun. Many times they'll take that clock down to the final moment. Wall, good protection, finds his man across the middle. 10, 5, touchdown, Corey Brown! And Tulsa's on the board. 20 yards on the pass play. Wall to Brown, and Tulsa leads 6-0.
Well, Bill, it always starts up front. The offensive line, if your quarterback has time to throw the football, good things are going to happen in the passing game. That's a result of this play. Wall does a good job now. If you watch here, they've got the receivers all spread out. They're going to run these guys all off. We're going to have a smash route around the bottom of the, across the screen, across the field. Go ahead and run the play, and you'll see what happens. Everybody runs off. We've got one guy underneath. He gets underneath the linebackers, and watch the big play and the acceleration after the catch. They clear everybody out of the defense, and then it's just, hey, I've got more speed than you got to the end zone.
Chris Ernest, a sophomore from Houston, on for the point after attempt. And Ernest hits this one, 7-0. So Tulsa, opening drive, wonderful execution for the Hurricane, and it's 7-zip TU over Rice. We got the kickoff when we come back.
Hi, I'm Nancy Lieberman-Klein, Basketball Hall of Famer, and once again it's time for my free basketball clinics for girls in the Dallas area.
Welcome back. An opening drive. Tulsa with a 7-0 lead over the Rice Owls as Corey Brown takes in a couple of big pass plays, combining for 53 yards on 2 third-down plays. And the Hurricane up 7-0 as they prepare to kick off to the Owls for the first time with 10:44 to go in the first period. And Ernest, who hit the PAT, will kick it off for the University of Tulsa. Bill Land and Gary Reasons and the Fox Sports Net crew with you here as the Owls are deep for the return. Taken at the goal line. At the 15, no, short of the 15, across the 10, and carrying the football, Sean White, and the tackle made by the University of Tulsa, Spencer Braggs, as White brings it out, and Tulsa, they're going to mark the football at the 20, beg your pardon, and Tulsa will bring their defensive group there. For the Rice Owls, senior quarterback Chad Richardson, the man today, 5'11", 200-pounder, as Richardson brings him up on a 1st and 10 at the 20. Tulsa jumped off to the 30 and across to the 37-yard line. Leroy Bradley. Bradley with 203 yards rushing coming in, an average of 6.8 a carry. Let's see about the flag.
Offside on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Let's take a look at that Rice offensive unit as they decline that penalty and will keep the great run by Bradley. Neil Gray, a senior and an anchor up front, third year as a starter for this club. Their backs and receivers, Bradley, who just got the football, showed you a little bit of his flash and dash. And the guy that makes it all happen is the quarterback, Chad Richardson. Man in motion. Richardson keeps the football to the 41-yard line. Defensively, for the University of Tulsa, a group that is going to have to toughen up. They made great improvement last year, but so far this year it has been struggling. Andy Taylor, a senior up front, the only veteran player. And the linebackers, Sean Farley, the leading tackler for the University of Tulsa. McClure is also a standout. And Franz leads them in interceptions in the secondary. Todd, a senior from Weatherford. And Tulsa defensively facing now the Rice Owls, 2nd down and 6. Handoff up the middle for a couple.
Well, Bill, when you defend this spread option offensive attack, always wonder how you're going to go about it and do your defensive job. They're going to lock up outside, which is what they're doing on their one receiver that they have out there, and Chad Richardson. He's looking at 10 defenders so far around the football. They're going to try to gang up on that running attack. Rice so far this season has run the ball 87% of the time, so pretty good key there for the defense.
Yeah, they've only thrown 36 passes total in the first 4 games of the season. Richardson is 8 of 27 in the air, but 2 of those 8 have gone for touchdowns, so you cannot forget about it. Richardson keeps it for the first down as he is out to the 48-yard line. And the first 3rd down situation successful for the Owls. McCory and Miller make the tackle for the University of Tulsa.
Well, this is option football. Richardson just takes the ball down the line of scrimmage. It's a lead option. No dive back inside. He's got some blocking out front. That's the kind of contact that this quarterback has in this offense. Chad Richardson's going to get hit time and time again. Actually, the Tulsa defense, they know the situation at quarterback with Rice only having their number 1 and now their number 4 quarterback on the roster. So they're going to try to hit Chad Richardson every time he touches the football.
1st and 10. Ball on the 49-yard line officially. Tulsa coming through. Richardson lets it go. He's got a man wide open, but the pressure on Richardson prevented him, I should say, from completing it to the wide open receiver downfield as he was looking for Evan Meeks.
Well, watch the right side of your screen. You're going to see Harold Burgess, number 3, the strong safety. He comes through on a safety blitz, and he gets into the backfield. Good pressure. He takes on Lesper, the fullback, causes Richardson to throw it off his back foot. He's got a wide open receiver. You see here, he's trying to throw it laying down. He gets it out there 5 more yards. It's a big play, possibly a score for the Owls.
2nd down and 10. Richardson, now the pitch. 50, out of bounds at the 46-yard line is Bradley. Franz making the tackle coming up from the secondary. Well, for 2 teams that Gary, Tulsa came in 287 yards total offense. Rice averaging 236. That's 6th and 8th in the league respectively. They don't look like it so far, do they?
Both offenses seem to be clicking. You see the numbers that Bradley's put up so far this year. Looks like Rice wants to do the down-the-line option attack so far. Got some good gains on that outside of this Tulsa defense. They're trying to attack the perimeter, and they know everybody's ganged up inside on their running attack, so they're going to try to work the outside. That's what they look like they're doing here early on.
Meeks goes wide at the top of your screen. The 2 backs behind Richardson. He's throwing. Incomplete. Well covered in the secondary. Looking for Raphael Tillman. Tillman, their leading receiver, with 6 grabs for 111 yards and both their touchdowns through the air from Richardson.
Well, one of the things to knock on Chad Richardson is his delivery. Watch him here as he throws it. He's got a man open. He throws a little 3/4 sidearm. If he comes over the top on that, he's going to have a chance to complete that pass. That's probably why the Owls aren't throwing the ball as effectively this year. Chad Richardson worked on that in the offseason. He tried to improve his efficiency throwing the football. Just hasn't had a lot of success this year.
Travis Hale, freshman from Duncanville, Texas, to punt it away. Hale, sky-high kick. Tulsa will get away from it, from a fair catch, and a great bounce for the Rice Owls as it goes inside the 10-yard line. And Hale doing his job that time as he pins Tulsa down inside the Hurricane 10. We're back with more in a moment. Welcome back to the University of Tulsa campus here in Oklahoma. Just a beautiful day for college football. The temperature in the low 70s here at game time. And Tulsa, second possession, up 7-0. But they start this time, 1st and 10 from the Hurricane 9 after the fine punt that time by Hale. Wall, fake in the backfield, goes to Smith. Smith heads to the sideline. About the 18-yard line. And Gary, one of the things you've talked about, a key here we were discussing beforehand, Tulsa needs to stretch that defense some with the deep ball.
Well, they do want to throw the ball down the field. We've seen them spread the ball around the field with shorter passes. But I think against this Rice defense, the way they gang up and their safeties commit up to the line of scrimmage to stop the run, they can probably exploit this Owl defense on the deep ball. Expect to see the Tulsa Hurricane attempt that today.
2nd and 1 after the 9-yard pickup on Wall to Smith. Savage in motion. Up the middle. Nothing doing that time for Mosley.
Yeah, you've got to get a little bit of running game here going sometime in the ball game. The passing attack has been going very well so far for Tulsa. They've got to get something going inside. They got a little misdirection play here. You got the tight end coming doing a wham block on the tackle, but the defensive penetration do a good job there. Coming inside, that's Wesley Kubis, the linebacker, the senior. He's done a pretty good job inside for them this year. This Rice Owl has been stingy on the ground so far this season.
Tulsa 3rd and 1. Let's see what they come up with. 2 big 3rd down calls. Got them the touchdown on the first drive. Wall in trouble. Gets rid of it. And I think has the first down on the short pattern as he hits Damon Savage, the senior from here in Tulsa. Savage coming in with 22 receptions to lead the club.
Well, defensive end Brandon Green's got to hit the quarterback, but the quarterback has enough time to get the ball outside to Savage. Good pass, good catch on timing, good first down. Good pickup there on 3rd and short.
Irwin had put the pressure on him coming in as Savage, 4th best in Tulsa history with better than 2,400 yards. He's had 7 100-plus games. 1st and 10 from the 21. Play action, and here they come, and he is hammered back on the 8-yard line. Making the tackle is Pittman. Sophomore from Mariana, Florida.
Well, Judge Smith starts the penetration inside here, and then Pittman finishes it off. Wall does a good job of trying to get out of the way, but he just can't. This pressure from Rice's defense coming in there do a good job. Hey, they need to make some negative plays like this in the backfield of Tulsa to have a chance against this big, high-powered offense. Pittman just does a delayed rush and gets the sack.
Rashard Pittman. And Tulsa now, 2nd down with the ball on the 12-yard line. The Hurricane. And Wall again is crushed with another sack. This time inside the 5-yard line, and he never had a chance. Rice turning up the pressure defensively. That time Dawson blitzing from the linebacker spot.
Well, Dan Dawson's a guy who plays very well in space. He's an outside linebacker. He's one of the best athletes on the field. And watch the top right side of your screen. You're going to see Dawson come in here basically untouched, and Michael Wall doesn't even see him coming. It's a missed assignment or just eludes just to the outside. It's a blitz pickup. They did not execute. Good call that time by the Rice defense.
3rd down, and the board says 19. Oh, it's 26. There we go. We got it right here on the screen. 3rd and 26. And they run it off tackle, and Tulsa's had to punt it out of its own end zone as the Hurricane, very successful in the first possession, but Rice comes through with the blitz, and Mosley stopped on the 3rd down carry by Smith and Ortega, and Tulsa will have to punt it away.
A couple games this year earlier, they played against Michigan and Texas. This Rice defense did, and they were stingy on the ground, especially early in the ball game in both of those games. Doing a good job against the running game against the Hurricane today. You know, credit the defense. 3 and out is a big series, especially when you got them backed up in the negative territory.
Casey Lipscomb, who averages 42 yards a kick, 29th in the nation. He'll need it all. The sophomore from Miami, Oklahoma, in his own end zone. And he boots it away over the head of the Rice receiver. I don't think he ever saw it with the sun in his face. Jason Hebert. It's not like this is a guy who's been on the sideline either.
I think
but
Jason
Hebert
just
came
missed it,
forward
yeah.
and never saw the football. A 52-yard kick gets Tulsa a little bit out of the hole. Ken Hatfield looks on. We're back with Tulsa up 7-0. Welcome back to Skelly Stadium in Tulsa. The Hurricane leading Rice 7-0 here in this Western Athletic Conference game. Bill Land and Gary Reasons with you as Tulsa on top. What a day of football for you on Fox Sports Net. Missouri and Memphis coming up at 2:30. And then in the Big 12, it's Texas A&M and Lubbock to take on the Red Raiders of Tech. And much of our audience will see Oregon and Washington as the quadruple header. Others in the Texas Ranger area will see the Rangers and Anaheim tonight. Flag, as that one never got underway on the handoff to Bradley. And going to be against TU, I believe. We'll see. No, they're clapping. It'll be against Rice.
Player to the snap. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
So the Owls with the motion penalty.
Well, it's tough for this offense. They get good field position at their own 40-yard line, get backed up before they have to get another snap underway. This offense is kind of a churn-it-out offense, Bill. I talked about earlier in the show where they need to get 4 yards a carry every time they run the football. If they don't do that, they're not going to be successful. This offense is predicated on the run. They'd be happy to get 4 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, call it a first down, and move the chains.
Here's Richardson. He pitches. And across the 40-45-yard line. Nice run that time by the Owls' Mike Gingrich, a senior from Spring, Texas. And the tackle made by Harold Burgess.
Well, I talked about Chad Richardson and his ability to run this option. He does a good job. They've got lead blockers out front. You see the lead option, and he pitches it with his right hand out to Gingrich. A little bit of an offensive attack here, trying to minimize the contact on the quarterback, not the down-the-line handoff belly routine that this option offense can run early in the ballgame.
Richardson brings him out now on a 2nd down and 4. From the 46 of Rice. Not much, about the 48.5. But this is the thing Ken Hatfield's going to be thinking, you know, we get them hunting out of their end zone. For whatever reason, our receiver doesn't see the ball. We should have had the ball about the Tulsa 45 to start with. Then the penalty. Now they're sitting 3rd and short near midfield.
Yeah, the one thing he's got to be pleased, though, is his offense is executing running the football. This option attack does make the defense have to come up and find a way to stop you. And Tulsa's trying to find that way so far early in this ball game. Looks like they're doing a good job inside running and stopping the Owls offense. But when they get to the perimeter, the Owls are gaining good yardage.
3rd and 2 at the 48. Slash off tackle. Going to be a first down for the Owls. Across midfield to the 49 of the Hurricane. Andy Taylor and Jeremy McClure making the stop. 3:22 to go in the first period.
You hand it off to your big fullback inside. Clint Lesper does a nice job going and getting his shoulder pads low between the defensive tackles for the first down. That's 3 plays, 10.5 yards for the first down, Bill.
And when Rice gets it going, it can be a fast football game. And that clock keeps moving. They win the possession battle in most games. Whether they win or lose the game, they can wear you down over the course of the afternoon. Richardson with the pitch this time. 50, 45, 40, and Bradley down to, see where they stepped him out of bounds. Inside the 40-yard line as Keitha McCory making the stop.
Watch the line of scrimmage. You're not going to see any penetration here by Tulsa's defense. If they had got penetration, they could negate this play at the start, but they're getting around the corner with the lead option, and Bradley has all the room on the sideline. Nobody there to contest him till late. It's a good job of execution by Rice. I think that Tulsa's going to have to find a way on the perimeter to come up and get some people in the backfield to cause Rice to make some negative plays.
Second possession for the Owls. They're down 7-0, but moving it well here. 1st and 10 at the 38 for Rice University. Richardson to pass, incomplete. Going for Tillman, well covered there, but we've seen him throw the ball, 3 times now? I mean, you're saying, well, Bill, it's almost in the first quarter. Hey, for Rice, it's a big deal.
That is a big deal. We heard Ken Hatfield talk about throwing the ball in this stadium. He's worried about the wind. That is certainly not a factor today. But obviously their game plan is going to involve Chad Richardson throwing the ball to some degree. They have to get a little more balance. 87% running the football every time you go out there. The defense can load up on you. You have to throw it down the field, at least keep them honest.
Yeah, and it's not, sure you want to complete them, but you don't have to. You got to let them know that you're at least thinking about them out there. 2nd and 10 now from the Tulsa 38. Richardson, great fake to the fullback, and then keeps the football for a nice gain across the 35, and Richardson brought down at the 31-yard line. McClure and Hawkins make the tackle. Hawkins about losing his shirt over it. Brad, a redshirt freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma.
Well, this is the first time they actually run the down-the-line option. You're going to see the fullback come in here, Richardson go over the top, and we've got the pitch coming outside. Go ahead and run the play. This is what Chad Richardson does well. He reads the key, sees the tackle commit inside. He takes it around the corner. Could have pitched the ball or ran it either way. The safe play is to take it up and get positive yardage.
And it's 3rd and 3 now. Man in motion, Gingrich. Richardson, first down and more. Watch out. This team, Ted and Richardson, dragging him with him as he is pulled down at the 6-yard line. What a run by Chad Richardson. Franz made the touchdown-saving stop.
One of the big arsenals in Chad Richardson's attack is his speed. He's got 4.5 speed in the 40. Hey, you give him the corner, he can make it to the house. He almost does here. Franz doesn't pull him down from behind. Franz got pretty good wheels himself, and look at him have to extend to make the play. Otherwise, it's a touchdown for the Owls.
25 yards on the pickup for Rice as we're inside 2 minutes remaining in the first period, and the Owls trying to even it up. Tulsa on its opening possession went down on the TD pass from Wall to Brown. Here's Rice trying to counter across the middle this time and to the 4-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, last week Ken Hatfield was very disappointed with his offense because 2 times they got into the red zone, the scoring area. 2 times they came away. One was a fumble. One was a 4th and short they got stopped on. He wants to get production with his offense. Anytime they're down here, the way this offense churns it out, they have to be productive and put points on the board, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. And I know that Ken Hatfield really wants to get that accomplished right now.
Lesper, the ball carrier on that last carry. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. And again, the Tulsa wall there. A yard, maybe 2. Let's see where they spot the football as Brad Hawkins led the way for the Hurricane. And looks like Lesper again coming up from the pile.
Yeah, pretty good pop that time by Hawkins coming off the outside here. Watch the left side of your screen. 57 is going to show up, and Paya, hello. Boy, linebacker stepped up and hit. I like that, Bill.
And it's still morning. Hawkins, they like the potential of this guy. Played at a great program at Jenks where state championships have become a regular thing. And 3rd and goal for the Owls. Rice with 20 seconds to go before the end of the period. Right up the middle. No, he faked. I bit. And Richardson goes into the end zone as Richardson scores the touchdown, and Rice makes it 7-6.
Well, you cause the defense to have to collapse on that inside running game, and they do, and Chad Richardson just pulls it out politely, sneaks around the corner. Watch here the fake that he does. Richardson fakes it inside to Lesper. Everybody bites on it. He's well tackled, but hey, Chad's got the touchdown.
And the 3-yard run makes it 7-6. Coming on for the point after will be Crabtree. Snap is good, and the kick is good. And Rice has tied it up with 16 seconds remaining here in the first period. And these 2 teams both showing what they do best. Tulsa throwing it for its score. Rice with the option game and to perfection here, Gary.
Well, he's just reading it down the line. He knows he's got a gravy play. Everybody's inside. Hey, he could have pitched it or ran it in. He figures, hey, I'll put my stat up there.
So Richardson gets his 2nd touchdown on the ground for the season. And the 10-play, 60-yard drive took 4:36 off the clock. And the Owls have evened it up at 7-7. But we thought we'd see a good football game, and so far, so good for the fans.
Well, I think that Ken Hatfield has a pretty good approach offensively. He's not forcing his quarterback to run that dive option inside where he's going to get popped every time he runs it. He has the down-the-line option where he's got a lead option back, blocking outside. He's pitched it outside well. I don't think that Chad Richardson's been popped as many times as he's used to, possibly by design because both of the number 2 and the number 3 quarterback are out of the ball game. They haven't even made the trip this week. They're down to their fourth-string quarterback, who's a true freshman, Jeremy Hurd. And if Chad Richardson can't go, he'd be forced into action.
Yeah, and he's expected to even play some because Richardson just needs a breather occasionally, but he hadn't even suited up until today. Here's the kickoff, and Mosley spins, trying to get to the 20, and jumps across it at the 21-yard line. So Mosley sets Tulsa up this time, 1st and 10 from its own 21.
You know, I like teams that put their best players back there to kickoff returns. You know, you put John Mosley, the tailback. He's a guy that they need to get the ball in his hands every time he can make a play, and that's obviously, you know, one of the things that they like to do.
WAC football, unpredictable at its best, and here's their other TV games. Fresno State and SMU on the 14th, San Jose State at Rice the 16th, Hawaii at Tulsa, 3 p.m. on the 23rd, and in November, the Battle of the Metroplex in Dallas-Fort Worth, SMU and TCU, all coming to you on Fox Sports Net. 1st and 10, ball on the 21, Savage in motion for Tulsa, 7-7 the count, Mosley on the pitch, Mosley. And Mosley motors to the 30-plus, very close to the first down on the end of the first quarter play. 7-7, Tulsa and Rice all knotted up after one as Ken Hatfield talks it over on the sideline. Hey, the only way to watch college football, huh? In the easy chairs here at the University of Tulsa. Just bring your rocker out here. Enjoy that lounge.
Both these offenses have made it look easy. They moved the ball down the field pretty well, both teams in the first quarter. See what kind of adjustments the defensive side of the ball is going to make.
7-7 as we start the second period, and 2nd down and 1 for the Golden Hurricane. They operate from their own 29-yard line. Wall will hand it off to Bohan, and he stuffs it right up the middle and has the first down, or it would appear so, as Bohan, a sophomore from Garland, Texas, 29 carries, 88 yards coming in with a couple of scores. Joe Bob Thompson made the tackle on Bohannon, but they do move the chains.
Well, Joe Bob's done a good job inside at linebacker. I tell you, the Rice defense, their inside play, Judge Smith and B.J. Forgerson, the 2 defensive tackles inside, have done a good job stopping the running game in all ball games this year. They're just only getting better each time they get out there.
1st and 10 for Tulsa. Their 3rd possession, and it starts the second period. And the flag is thrown.
Player to the snap. False start.
False start for the Hurricane.
5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Tulsa, penalty-wise, this year has been averaging 9 a game for 66 yards. And TU will now make it a 1st and 15 as the University of Tulsa sends 5 wideouts. 3 to the top of your screen, and you see 2 to the lower portion. And Wall out of the shotgun. The dump to the 30 and scrambling. And nice job that time by Donald Scholes to keep his balance before slipping at the... So we're going to mark it. Okay, I thought they were going to give him a couple more. Instead, they're going to mark it below the 35, the 34.
Well, good approach. You got 3 guys at the top of the screen. Just a little slip screen out here. One of your wide receivers blocks for you. And look at the big cavalry coming from the inside, the guard and tackle on both sides coming out there. Good, effective play. I like that. You spread the field. You take your big guys from the inside to the outside. It's basically a pitch behind the line of scrimmage.
Score even, yardage just about the same. 2nd down and 8 for the Hurricane after the 7-yard pickup on the pass play. And Tulsa going to have to use another timeout here. And we'll take a break as well. Our score 7-7, Tulsa and Rice here in the WAC. Hurricane and Owls even at 7, start of the second period. Bill Land, Gary Reasons with you on Fox Sports Net here at Skelly Stadium in Tulsa. And it's 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Hurricane from their own 34-yard line. Wall out of the shotgun. Complete, and then short of the first down, and a tough break that time for Smith. He made the reception, but then lost his balance. Waiting on the sideline, Josh Blankenship, the freshman out of Tulsa Union High School, who has played in every game, and you see his numbers there. We're very excited about him, a big-time recruit for the University of Tulsa to stay home. And Wall, though, keeping him on the bench so far. He's now 8 of 10, 92 yards and a touchdown. 3rd down and 4 for Tulsa, 33. .45-50, and Savage has got the first down for the Hurricanes. Well, if you haven't seen Tulsa play, this first period and few minutes into the second gives you an idea of the diversity of their offense.
It's just a wide receiver screen. You got Damon Savage, one of the more explosive players in the conference, catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage with 2 blockers in front of him. Boy, if he just doesn't run out of the sideline there, he's going to make a big play. Good offensive execution by the Hurricanes.
Savage coming in averaging 10.9 per reception this season. 1st and 10 for Tulsa. Ball at the 49. Play action. Wall. A wobbler, but complete to Carey, and he fumbled the football. Was he down? Or was it incomplete? I think it's going to be the latter. Let's see.
Now, I believe they called it incomplete. You're going to see here from the end zone. Take a look at it. He's just going to float it out there to his tight end, and Carey just kind of pulled in the cradle and watch Hebert lay a lick on him. Interesting. That might actually be a fumble.
Yeah, that looked like a reception.
Reception catch, but, you know, it's a negative play. It's a good play by the defense, nonetheless, to stop him in a long play.
Now Tulsa 2nd and 10 from the 49 as ruled an incompletion. Savage takes a breather on this play. Up the middle on the Hurricane play, and nothing works. It'll be 3rd long coming up for TU, just shy of the 50. 7-7 as Tulsa opening up the scoring on its first drive. Corey Brown, a 20-yard reception from Michael Wall at 10:44 in the first, and then Rice countered with Richardson, a 3-yard run to make it 7-7 following the kick with 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. And that's where we sit. 12 to go in the half.
This offensive line for Tulsa has got a lot of experience. The referee's trying to get the clock set correctly out there, but one of the keys that's missing on their offensive line is Steve Weedover. He's their best offensive lineman. He's been playing their strong guard position. They've got a center in there, a freshman in there, Brock Anderson, who's playing number 63. You know, the timing that you have to develop to run the plays inside, pulling, combination blocks, those are things that don't come automatically, and this young freshman's being forced into the lineup with Weedover out, and he had a knee problem. Weedover did a couple weeks back, and they expect him back in the lineup before too long.
Here's the 3rd down conversions for the afternoon. The delay is the 25-second play clock has gone out, so they're going to have to keep that on the field unless they get it fixed here in the next moment. And that may not be much of a factor for Rice, but for the University of Tulsa, it's a big deal, Gary.
Yeah, because they call every play at the line of scrimmage and there's no huddle. They actually like to take it down to where they want to snap the ball, whether it's a quick count or go to the sideline for the play from the coaches, because they'll watch the defense and relay it from the sideline to the quarterback.
3rd down and 9 for the Hurricanes, just shy of midfield. Wall, nice pocket. Smith, the receiver, 45. Can't break it through to the first down, though. Rice collapsed and then regathered itself quickly as Smith knew where he wanted to go, but Rice denied him the first down. And Tulsa now most likely a punt.
Little change up on defense for Rice. They go to a 3-deep zone. You'll see all 3 guys run off here, and then they're going to have underneath coverage. When you run this type of defense, your job is to break up and make a tackle on the underneath route. You'll see Smith come up and grab the football. They stop him short of the first down. That's the way that defense should be executed.
Tulsa will punt it away on the 4th down. Lipscomb, who had a 52-yarder the first time, punting it to Hebert. Low snap. Lipscomb. Hebert will stay away from it. Tried to put it in the corner, but got it right over the pylon. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. We'll take a brief break with a timeout. 7-7, 11:05 to go in the half. Lipscomb, they reversed the call. Originally, it appeared that that punt had gone out over the pylon and it would be coming out to the 20. Instead, another official said, no, And boy, that's the most difficult thing to do is where did the ball go out of bounds? The 1-yard line is where Rice starts its offensive series. 1st and 10. And Tulsa jumps off sides here. Boy, field position already playing big into this one, Gary.
Sure is. 99 yards here to go for the offense for Rice. Good job that time by the quarterback using voice inflection to get the defense to
Offside
jump.
on the defense. 5-yard penalty remains 1st down.
Well, that's the second time in this ball game that Chad Richardson has done this. Watch him bark the signal out, get the defensive lineman to move and make contact. Good job by the offensive. Hey, just take the licks in the 5 yards.
Hewitt, among others, coming off the University of Tulsa. So now Rice 1st and 5 and a little breathing room. They're not having to start out of their own end zone. Richardson slips and falls as he was keeping it up the middle. Had the opportunity there to maybe get that 1st down. It'll be 2nd now and 4, it appears, as Richardson slipping on that carry.
Well, anytime an offense has to go 99 or 96 yards here with the penalty of the 94 yards, it's going to be an interesting thing to see how they can drive the ball down the field. I tell you, this defense cannot stop them when they ultimately have a score on this. It's a real disheartening thing for the defense, but that's what this offense does. It takes it right to the defense, run the ball right at them, and get 1st down after 1st down.
And on a 2nd and 4, they're out across the 10. It'll be 3rd and short coming up, maybe less than a yard. Seven, Tulsa and Rice, the scoring in the 1st period. Tulsa through the air, Rice on the ground with Richardson scoring on a 3-yard keeper. And now 10 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. And Rice trying to take it the length of the field.
Nothing would please Ken Hatfield more than to have his offense take it all the way down the field. Hey, it's a long way to go, but those kind of drives are ones you can make a season on.
The handoff, and I don't think they got it. Tulsa defense excited. They tripped him up at the line of scrimmage. Fans say, no, get it out of here. McClure and Miller making the tackle for TU.
Well, watch the right side of the screen. See the defensive pressure. Hewitt, the defensive tackle, does a good job, and then the cavalry come. They get Lesper behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a 4th down now for the Owls.
Derek Gary getting the carry, and Gary, limited carries coming in. Sophomore from San Antonio Churchill is stopped, and Tulsa, after giving up the penalty on a 1st and 5, they finally hold it.
Rice gets 4 yards in 3 plays offensively.
And the punt by Travis Hale. Taken at the 41-yard line and no going. And a wall of Owls come down to make the tackle that time on Spencer Braggs, the TU return man. But Tulsa gets excellent field possession. And the Hurricane will bring out that offensive unit again with its 7-7. After Hale's punt, our game summary. Rice 103 yards on the ground. Richardson has not completed anything through the air yet, but does have a TD. Wall 10 of 13 for 110. Savage a couple of catches. Richardson 7 carries, 47 yards. And the touchdown, of course, on the 3-yard carry. Of course, Tulsa's big receiver today has been Corey Brown. He had the 2 long catches, including the TD grab on that opening series. The pitch out to Mosley. Nope. Rice smelling that out early, and John Mosley nowhere to go as Joe Bob Thompson comes through from the linebacker spot to make the tackle. Mosley had been averaging 4.5 yards a carry coming in.
Well, Tulsa's run this play time and time again. They're trying to get it to the outside, but Joe Bob just runs right through. Nobody has him on assignment. Joe Bob makes the play in the backfield. That's the kind of play that you may want your linebackers to come across the line of scrimmage, make contact, make a good tackle, and Joe Bob did it that time.
Second and 17 for the Hurricane from their own 36. Wall across the middle. Almost intercepted as everything but that time for Carlin Bedford, the senior from DeSoto, Texas. Boy,
well,
Bedford.
Yeah, had it in his hands. Carlin Bedford should have made that play. Little zone coverage that time again by Rice. They're going to run back, and they're going to have underneath routes coming. And Bedford's just, hey, I'm in the middle of the field like a little rover. The ball's going to come. You see it tip there, and Bedford has this. Boy, that would have been a big play for the Owls.
They've only had 1 interception through 4 games, Gary, and that's something Ken Hatfield thought they would create more turnovers this year than they have. He said, on the other hand, our defense has done a good job of stopping people for the most part. Wall downfield, and this one is picked off by the Owls as they come back on the long pass play that was underthrown, and coming up with it is Dan Dawson, the linebacker.
Now, we talked about Dan Dawson and how he plays well in space. Does a good job of breaking on the football that time. Dan Dawson, number 30, the outside linebacker at the top of your screen. Wall, he just sets and throws the ball, doesn't get it out there where he needs to, and watch this catch. Good job getting down for the football. Takes away a big reception. I think it was intended for, who's that intended for? That was Corey Brown, who's had a couple of catches already.
So the turnover battle now, and Tulsa gives Rice excellent field position. 1st and 10 from the 43, and the pitch out. Gingrich, 45, bumped out of bounds as he goes flying, but a great pickup into Tulsa territory before he is stopped. Ken Hatfield was concerned about the turnover battle coming in here today when we had a chance to visit with him. Let's hear those comments.
Our real goal and our theme for this year has been for defense is create turnovers. And I thought we'd get 3 or 4 games where we have a lot of speed that can run the ball back on a fumble. We have a lot of speed that can return it for a touchdown. And unfortunately, we haven't gotten the turnovers. That's been the odd thing about it. And yet, at the same time, the thing that you've got to do to be a solid defense team, you've got to stop people's running game. And yet we've come in and we've played everybody's running game extremely well for 4 weeks.
Leroy Bradley the carry this time as Odom makes the tackle. And Coach Hatfield, they came in the bottom of the league in turnover margin. They were -7. They'd only gotten 4 and they'd lost 11. But here, and it's obvious what it can mean to a team's performance on Saturday when you come up with a key interception.
It certainly does. It stops the other offense from moving the ball down the field, gives your offense opportunity to get out there with good field position. The Owls are taking advantage of it.
Rice won here 2 years ago when Tulsa turned it over a bunch early and then came back but didn't have enough. Owls won last year 14-10 in Houston. Pitch out to Bradley. Tackled at the 35-yard line, and he is upended there by McCory, freshman from Oklahoma City out of Westmore High School. Redshirted last year. Nice stop by McCoy, but a big pickup for the Owls just the same.
Well, you run the down-the-line option. McCoy at the top of your screen is going to come out and make a good tackle on Bradley here. If he doesn't make this tackle, he's going to run to the house. Gets underneath, knocks his legs out from under him. Good job by the secondary.
Bradley, a sophomore from Baker, Florida, stopped that time by McCory. Last year, he had 15 carries, 85 yards. Bradley came in with 203 yards so far this season. 3rd down and 5. Make it 3. Richardson pitches it at the last moment. Looked like it was forward, though. But no flag on the play.
They called it incomplete pass, Bill. The referees called it correctly. Okay. Actually, what he did went down the line. It's a spread option. It's the lead option. Watch Chad Richardson here. Does the ball go forward or lateral? He's going to go forward. As you see there, incomplete because he dropped the football. Good call by the officials.
And it's going to be 4th down. And Rice will call a timeout here. Oh. Timeout Tulsa. Well, we'll see. We'll sort it out when we come back. Our score is even at 7. Rice is going to go for it on a 4th and 3 situation here at the 34-yard line, and the score tied at 7. Crowd at Tulsa trying to inspire the Hurricane defense. Richardson to throw. No. Still going and stopped. Tulsa will take over on downs as the defense rallies. But kind of a no-brainer for Ken Hatfield. That would have been a 51-yard field goal. They have hit one from that distance this year, but just the same, they've been running it pretty good.
Well, that was good coverage that time by McCrory on the outside, taking away Chad Richardson's pass that he wanted to throw. He had to pull it down and run it, and Jerry McClure does a good job coming from the outside, his linebacker position, and making a play in the backfield.
Tulsa survived the turnover this time. Coach Rader's been concerned about that in his years of matching up with Coach Hatfield.
I've played and I've coached against Coach Hatfield for how many games now? 6, I guess. And I don't know if I've ever won the turnover battle against him. That's a huge stat right there. We would like to one time play Coach Hatfield whatever team he's coaching, Rice, Arkansas, whoever we're playing, this week is Rice. And have fewer turnovers than they have.
Sounds like a guy who's got a great memory over those turnovers and where they've hurt his Tulsa team over the years, because they've had some great games with the University of Arkansas. When Hatfield was there, it appeared Tulsa might be ready for the upset, but a turnover would turn a play here or there. And certainly it's been a big part of the Rice series since Hatfield has been there. And today, Tulsa survives at least so far. Wall, 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Hurricanes. Now the shotgun. Pump fake. Incomplete. Looking for Donald Scholes, number 87, the sophomore from Enid, Oklahoma. Scholes with 9 receptions coming in today.
Well, that's a good safe pass. Get Michael Wall out of the pocket. Roll the pocket to his right where he can throw the ball outside to his receiver. Didn't make a good throw there. Throws it out of bounds, but that's one of the plays where the quarterback, there's not a lot of pressure on him from the inside, not going to have a lot of rush inside. I think it's a good play. They spread the field, have 3 receivers there, give him an option. He made the smart call, throwing it out of bounds.
Wall's missed his last 3 after starting off hitting 10 of 13 this afternoon, including 1 for a TD, a 20-yarder to Corey Brown. 3rd down and 9 for the Hurricanes. Dumps it out on the far side. Picks up a couple. Short of the 1st down, though, and Tulsa will now have to kick it away.
A little quick screen out that time to the receiver, and Greg Gatlin does a good job on the outside. The cornerback plays off the block and makes a good, efficient tackle on the sideline.
Corey Brown on the reception, and Tulsa will boot it away on a 4th down. And now a timeout is called by Rice here with 5:44 remaining. Well, let's take a look at what's ahead for these two, because for these two teams, they both played some difficult folks in the non-conference schedule. And Tulsa saying, let's not get discouraged at 1-3. Coming up for Rice, it's 1-3. At Hawaii. You're leaving early on that. You're not going with them, are you, Gary?
I wish I could. They're leaving on Tuesday, I've heard. We've talked to Coach Hatfield. Going to go out there and get the kids acclimated to the area out there and practice. It's going to be a good week of preparation for them. Then they go to have San Jose State at home, and TCU and SMA. You know, it doesn't get any easier. The conference schedule is at them, and they need to produce.
Yeah, and 6 road games this year for the Rice Owls. And Tulsa at TCU following a week off. And then they beat Fresno and Hawaii here. That Hawaii game, a Fox Sports Net game, at UTEP, Louisiana Monroe, used to be Northeast, and then SMU to end things on November 20th. So as Tulsa looks down the line, in fact, the players had a player-only meeting on Monday following the loss at San Jose State, and they came home late Sunday afternoon from California, and they said, hey, we have to be able to forget what's happened and refocus, and it seems they've done that so far today.
I think both teams want to get behind the Texas games, the Michigan games, the A&M games, Oklahoma State games. Get them behind them. They're in the meat of their schedule in the WAC conference, and that's what they want to play for, and trying to get that accomplished today.
Lipscomb stands on his own 24-yard line. Hebert, the deep man, at his own 15 for the Owls. Rice nearly got that one. This one again going to go out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it. The Owls will get possession of the football with 5:37 remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Talk about Rice's, his schedule this year with Ken Hatfield, and it's kind of interesting. This is the 5th field they've played on in 5 weeks. 5 different fields, obviously 4 games away, and he had 1 game to win last week at home against Navy. He hasn't been down there in Houston very long. It seems like they're going. Not easy for these kids to get settled into a routine in school yet.
And they played in front of some huge crowds. They had 44,000 at home for the Navy victory last week, 82,000 at Texas, 110,000 up at the Big House in Ann Arbor in the Michigan game. Richardson slipped, caught himself, and then goes forward to pick up a little bit on the 1st and 10 from the 32. Hewitt and LaShawn Farley making the tackle. Farley, the leading tackler, at 33 on the year coming into this game.
Well, LaShawn Farley is their big play player on defense. He comes in, gives him a pretty good pop here. Coming from his outside linebacker spot. Farley, he's made a lot of plays for this Hurricane defense, and he's the leader out there, the catalyst. And Chad Richardson, when he slips, makes the wrong turn, these guys are coming to hunt him.
Farley had one of his best games last year with a 14 tackle performance and a fumble recovery against the Rice Owls in the loss that Tulsa suffered in Houston. 2nd down and 8. Richardson just does pitch it in time, and Gingrich the 40, 45, the 50, the cutback, and a great move it was, as Gingrich goes to the 40 of TU, and Farley makes the tackle there. Boy, if that isn't what frustrates you when you watch the tape later, when you see the execution of Richardson at the last moment here.
It's a down line option. They've run it well to perfection today. Hey, watch it here. You're going to see a player. Well, hold it right there. You're going to see a guy here, number 18, Lesper. He's going to make the key block in this play as you continue. Go ahead. Watch the blocker's going to fall out, but you see the contact on Richardson. The block at the bottom of the screen, and we did not see Lesper put the cornerback on his back so that he could get around the corner. Gingrich makes a big play.
27 yards in the pickup. This time, Bradley keeping it tight to the 35 of the Hurricane. He picks up 4. And it'll be 2nd and 6 coming up after the stop by redshirt freshman Brad Hawkins.
Well, Rice is keeping them honest. They're trying to run the ball inside and outside. The down-the-line option play, the lead option, has worked very well for him so far today, and it takes a lot of pressure off of Chad Richardson. You see him bending over there on the field. Hey, he's got to get his gas. He's about to run out of gas out there. Coach Hatfield told me he's a heavy sweater. You really like to watch his fluid level before, during the game so that he doesn't get dehydrated.
2nd and 6 for the Owls. Richardson now puts it on the outside, and going to be forward pass again, I believe, after the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they caught it. If it stands, you'll go to the 25, and I think they're going to move the chains.
Well, the line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line, the 35. Watch him here. If he goes past that and pitches it forward or backward, it's a lateral. It's a good pitch. From this angle, it looked like he might have had a forward lateral. Good offensive execution that time by Richardson.
McCory making the tackle. And the Owls now trying to take the lead. We're tied at 7. Bill Land, Gary Reasons with you at Skelly Stadium. 1st and 10, the ball on the 24-yard line. Richardson hands it off up the middle. Down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line before Chris Miller made the tackle.
Well, when they run this option, it's on timing. This fullback comes here, Richardson comes, he dives. They actually practice this with boards and contact in practice. They have 1, 2, 3 steps. They know this on timing all the time. And hey, Lesper said, I got a hole. I want the football, Chad. He just pulled it and went.
Don't pull that baby back on me this time. 2nd down call. And leaning forward down to the 15-yard line. Lesper again. Brother Griffin, the ball carrier, beg your pardon. Griffin came in with 9 carries and 42 yards. Miller made the tackle.
Well, we talked about Neil Gray and Matt Ball in the left guard and center for this Rice Owl team, and now Heath Fowler's doing a pretty good job at the right guard as well. That offensive line is moving people inside, getting some holes for this offense.
Lesper on the 3rd and 1 appears to have the 1st down. Need to get inside the 9 and inside the 14, I should say. And he's got it.
Well, this Owl offensive line, they're not a lot of big guys, Bill. They're 6'3", 275, 280, but I think they're efficient for this offense. They have to do a lot of combination blocking. They do it very well. They work on technique. You ought to see them in practice how they go at it. They combo blocks. Hey, we've got these two. They'll even miss guys on purpose because that's the option guy that Chad Richardson has to read to see a big play.
Mallory comes through to drag Richardson down. Mark Mallory pulls him down for the loss on the play. As Mallory, a freshman from nearby Sand Springs, Oklahoma, 6'6", 251.
Well, you'll see Mallory here at the bottom of your screen. He's a guy they're not blocking. They're not going to even take him, but he has enough speed to get up the field. Somebody should have blocked him when they run the down-the-line option. If they don't block him, he has a free route to the quarterback, and Mallory makes a big play.
And now, 2nd and 17 for the Owls. Do they throw it? Richardson's running work today. Yes, Richardson unloads, got a man, Tillman, touchdown Owls! Richardson to Tillman, and Tillman gets his 3rd TD reception of the year. There you can see it coming.
Well, he's locked up with Burgess, a strong safety, and I'll tell you, this is one heck of a route by Tillman. Watch him at the top of your screen. He's going to come down and work away and out. Does a good job here. Watch the head fake that he puts on at the end here. Stop and go. Throws it back. Hey, that's confidence where your receiver's going to be there. Comes down with a big play. That's his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. Tillman's doing a pretty good job out there, and David Lee, the offensive coordinator, you see him there. He's pretty happy about that play.
And Crabtree, perfect on the year in PATs, stays that way, and Rice now takes a 14-7 lead. A 20-yard pass play from Richardson to who else? Raphael Tillman, and the senior from Mississippi makes it a 14-7 ball game, hauling it in. So Chad Richardson doing the damage on the ground on the first TD, and then here going to the air to Tillman on the 20-yard pass play.
Well, good effective play calling, good execution by Rice, 68 yards for the total. Ken Hatfield's got to be real pleased with his offensive production. Hey, run the ball, throw the ball, those are things that we can do, and just have to execute, and they did so on that drive.
Coming up at halftime, we'll visit with the WAC Commissioner, Carl Benson. He's been a busy guy as meetings been going on and anticipating what will happen with TCU and SMU in the league, as well as the future of the WAC. And we'll have some highlights and some stats as well here on Fox Sports Net. Coming up at the half as Ken Hatfield sees his club up 7 now.
Scott Brown, seeing the ball up.
14-7, and Tulsa. Scholes deep this time instead of Mosley. And the kick. Scholes keep it there in the end zone, and Tulsa will get it first to 10 its own 20. 1:03 to go before the half. And let's see if the Hurricane will come out and go exclusively to the air here.
No, they're very capable, Bill, with that no-huddle offense they run. They have the opportunity to run that a lot of different ways, and quickly, as you see John Mosley, who wasn't on the kickoff return, obviously saved him for the offensive production. They need him in there. Don't wear him out too much, Coach. I need to get some plays on the offensive side as well instead of just kick return.
Mosley 8 carries, 17 yards so far today. 1st and 10, ball on the 20 for TU. Wall looking, got time now, dumps it off, and it is complete on the shoe tops to Savage. Savage and scrumming out of bounds.
Yeah, I think the linesman came from the opposite side of the field and saw that the ball had bounced off. It's going to be an incomplete pass. You see Wall here, he's stepping up. It's good coverage by Rice's secondary that time, and actually pretty good protection that time for Wall to throw the football. He steps up and just bounces off the turf to the receiver.
Ken Hatfield came scrambling up the sideline to let that official know that didn't think that ball was caught either. 2nd and 10 now as they move it back to the 20. Out of the shotgun again with 54 seconds to go. Smith, the completion. Cannot get out of bounds, though. And the clock will keep moving at 46 and counting. And it's 3rd down coming up. Smith, his 5th reception this afternoon. McMillan and Dawson covering on the play that time for Rice.
Yeah, Rice is just laying back in his zone defense. They're not going to let the big play get him in this situation. They're going to break up on the short passes, and that's what we saw in that last play.
Tulsa, 3 receivers to the top. Clock still moving at 21 seconds. And now a flag. Everybody pointing at the other guy, as usually the case.
And big Jake Stotson, their number 75.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
They're going to get Stotson in there with Anderson at that guard position with Weedover out. Probably hasn't been into the game a lot, being that he's just a freshman.
So 3rd and 8 now for the Hurricane, with the clock moving, and this will take care of the half. As Mosley keeps the football, and Tulsa will go into the locker room down 7 at the break. Irwin making the tackle that time for the Rice Owls. So Michael Wall and TU came out explosive, an opening drive for a touchdown that gave them the lead, but Rice bouncing back and up by 7 as we take a break. Stay with us on Fox Sports Net. Conference football. Glad to have you with us here, Bill Land and Gary Reasons. We'll take a look at some highlights in just a few minutes. But first of all, the tone of the game. We've got a great matchup here, Gary, and Tulsa looked like they couldn't be stopped early. Rice, nice offensive drive. Then they kind of went back and forth. Then Rice a little strong at the finish.
I think Rice is really doing what they want to do, run the football down the field. Chad Richardson's doing a good job at the quarterback position, running that offense. Michael Wall, on the other hand, with Tulsa, has done a pretty good job early in the ball game. Hasn't had a lot going successfully for them. Actually, only 5 yards rushing for Tulsa in the first half. Not very good.
Yeah, and that seems to be a big key, as Tulsa wants to keep it balanced, and they just haven't been able to establish anything on the ground.
Well, they need to get the running game going to some degree. You put all the pressure on the quarterback and the receivers to make plays, makes for a long day for an offense.
All right, well, certainly Tulsa has made some plays. We'll take a look at some of those here right now. The Golden Hurricane getting on the board on the 20-yard pass play to Brown from Wall.
Well, Michael Wall does a nice job delivering, and then Corey Brown has the speed to outrun the defense. Gets the ball in the end zone for the first score of the game.
Rice coming back. Who else? The quarterback, Richardson.
Chad Richardson ran the option very well, read his keys, put it in for the score, and the second touchdown here. Good pass, good release that time by Raphael Tillman for the score in the back of the end zone. Hey, the Rouse scored one passing, Bill.
Their third touchdown pass of the year, and that's what makes them so dangerous is you just think, well, forget about the pass, and next thing you know, guys wide open out there.
Well, Ken Hatfield talked about throwing the football, and I think that was part of their game plan coming in here. They haven't made a lot of yardage, I think 20 or so yards in the air, but that's just enough to keep that defense honest so they can't gang up on that running attack.
Well, and Tulsa trying to do some damage to Richardson, but he has been able to avoid the big hit today because we've talked a little bit about the lack of depth at the quarterback position.
Well, I like the play calling that David Lee has for Rice's offense. Run the down the line option, the lead option, so that Chad Richardson isn't taking the contact every single play. We talked about the number 2 and number 3 quarterback being gone, not even on the trip here. So they want to keep Chad Richardson out there as long as possible. He's their playmaker. He's their senior leader on this offense. They want him on the field.
All right, when you take a look, too, you can tell these two teams realize that Rice conference opener, obviously a big game, but Tulsa saying, we're going to restart our season after the tough day at San Jose last week. You can't afford to lose a home game in the league when you're already down 0-1.
Well, you only get so many home games, and I know that Dave Rader wants to get this game in the win column for them in this conference. When you start out 0-2 in the conference, it's going to make you have to have some help then down the road to get where you want to be, and that is being the eventual conference champion. But right now, Rice seems to be in control of this ball game.
All right, still a long way to go. Stay with us. We're at the half. Rice is leading it 14-7. The Owls over the Golden Hurricane. We're back with more in just a moment. Rice, halftime of Western Athletic Conference football here at Skelly Stadium. As the Owls have the upper hand, it is 14-7 Rice over TU. Bill Land, Gary Reasons, and the Fox Sports Net crew with you. There's a look at the numbers with the first downs, 9-7 Tulsa, but look at that rushing yards, Gary.
Well, this is the most impressive thing, 174 yards rushing and only 5 for Tulsa. That's going to be a good day for the Owls and not so good for Tulsa. We talked about Rice's rushing game. For them to be successful, they need to average at least 4 yards per carry. They're eclipsing that. They're getting 6 yards a carry on the ground today. Good job of running the ball by Rice.
Time of possession, 15:42 Rice, Tulsa 14-18. I know one of the things Rocky Felker, the offensive coordinator here at the University of Tulsa, was telling me yesterday that he said you have to be careful when Rice starts to get a little momentum that your offense, sitting over in the sideline, doesn't get antsy, feeling that, well, we better hurry up and get a touchdown because we may not see the ball too many more times. And that might be some thinking you have to be wary of in the second half.
Well, when you have a controlled offense, a team that runs the ball and they like to control the clock like Rice does, the other team's offense, who when they get on the field, if they score too quickly, hey, they put that offense back out there and it makes a long day for your defense. The Rocky Felker's offensive crew, they did well early on, Bill, but they haven't done a lot, especially in the second quarter. Give credit to the Rice defense.
We've got the second half coming up for you on Fox Sports Net. Rice with a halftime lead of 14-7.
A national title contender enters hostile territory. The 5th-ranked Aggies kick off Big 12 play against cross-state rival Texas Tech. College Football Saturday kicks off at 2:30 on Fox Sports Net.
The State Fair of Tulsa in the backdrop, not far away. Down 11th Street from the University of Tulsa, where the Golden Hurricane is down 14-7. And it has not been a carnival for the Golden Hurricane here today.
Well, offensively, they haven't really got clicking, I would say. The number 1 receiver, number 86, Damon Savage, has really just not made a big impact in this football game. He's the leading receiver almost here of all time. Has a chance to eclipse that. Hasn't been in the ball game very much. He's had 2 catches for 13 yards. The show here is Chad Richardson and what he's done for this Rice-Al offense, running it effectively on the ground. And Rice has done a pretty good job moving the ball when they want to. We talked about Savage. You see his numbers here. Hey, he's a big play receiver. He has NFL potential. He has all the tools. They just have not got in the football today, Bill.
And Savage 8 for 119 last week against San Jose. All right, let's take a look at the Tulsa possessions here in the first half, and you'll see how things have gone for the Hurricane. 80 yards on that first drive, 10 plays, then punt, the interception, another punt, and then at the end of the half, the clock ran out on them with Rice leading 14-7. On the other side, Rice gave up the football after the first possession, and then they took it in for the touchdown on a 10-play, 60-yard drive right at the end of the quarter, and then a punt, turned it over on downs, and then the TD with the TD pass capping it off.
Well, that's the production that Rice wants to have. Move the ball down the field, chew up some time on the clock, chew up some yardage. You know, a few downs in, a few downs out, make a score. That's good in Ken Hatfield's eyes. I know that Dave Rader, he'd like to have more production from his offense. They've got to find a way to run the ball, take the pressure off the quarterback in that offense. Otherwise, this Rice defense is just too stingy.
Ken Hatfield on the left, Dave Rader on the right. Coach Rader, in his 12th year here, looking for victory number 50. He's had 7 straight sub-500 seasons and hoping to turn it around this year. Goes back to 91 where they went 10-2 and went to the Freedom Bowl. What a ball club that was, and people here anxious to get back to the winning ways. Meanwhile, Rice coming off a 5-6 campaign a year ago. Kickoff to the 30, 35, and Bradley takes it across the 40-yard line.
John White returning the kick.
So good field position for the Rice Owls to start the second half.
Well, the returner does his job. He catches the football and then reads his blocks. He does a nice job of coming off the blocks on this kick return, gives Rice good field position up to the 40-yard line. Almost has a chance there to make a tackle. He runs through a few arms, and hey, he's a pretty good running back. Obviously, good position there for Rice.
So we start the second half with the Owls 1st and 10 from their own 40. Gingrich, big hole, 50, 45, and down to the 40-yard line. Gingrich brought down by sophomore Harold Burgess.
Well, the play was made at the line of scrimmage. Matt Baldwin and Neil Gray, the center and the guard, do a good job. It's just an inside little trap. Gingrich is the trail back on the opposite side. Watch Richardson here. He's just going to reverse out and hand it. Watch the blocking up front. Good lead there by Lesper, the fullback. Gingrich into the secondary. Look at the speed he has running away from that front 7.
Pickup of 19 as they mark it at the 41, and Rice, you see, close to its season average already on the second play in the second half. And Gingrich again as they eclipse that season average mark on that carry. He's down to the Tulsa 36-yard line. Gingrich 3 for 55 in the first half, and nice job to start the second half.
Well, they're pushing Andy Taylor and Jeff Hewitt, the defensive lineman for Tulsa, out so they can make some running yardage inside. Good job that time by the Rice offensive lineman.
And you see what Rice has done in previous seasons against Tulsa. 220 last year, 414 in 96. Well, it looks like they're headed more toward that 300-plus again today. Richardson, Gingrich the pitch man. And out of bounds on the Rice sideline at the 36-yard line. And Gary, certainly for Tulsa, a difficult series because you go in at half, you get a breather, you make some adjustments, you come out. If they're able to come down and run it right down your throat to start the second half, that's tough to come back from.
Well, for a defense, they made some adjustments at halftime. I can tell that last play they did a good job defending the down-the-line lead option, which was plaguing them in the first half. They did a good job on that play. But Rice has done an effective job of running the ball a couple of times inside, making positive yardage. So they're making these guys adjust a different way.
Third down now and 6. Richardson tugged from behind before he's brought down. But you can tell Richardson's got a little more spring in his step from the halftime break as he's brought down by the Hurricane. McClure and also In on the play, Mark Mallory.
Well, McClure does a good job of getting down the line of scrimmage. A speedy quarterback in Richardson getting around the corner. If he doesn't hang on to his shoulder pads, he's going to go at least for the first down.
Richardson gets the play and now comes back to the Rice huddle. Father played at Texas, at Air Force Academy. Richardson High School played a little fullback, quarterback, free safety, did a little bit of everything. Running the show for the Owls here. Pitches, fumble, and it is recovered but out of bounds. Let's see. No, it's going to be a Tulsa football. The Hurricane pounced on it. And Chris Odom, I believe, came up with a football. Let's see. Odom caused it.
Well, Chad Richardson does a good job of running the lead option here down the line of scrimmage. He's going to get into contact and make a pitch while he's in contact. I tell you, Anthony Griffin just does not come up with the football. It's a low pitch, but one he should catch. Ken Hatfield can't be happy about that play. Turnover.
Well, and I beg your pardon, that was fourth down, Gary, so the actual loss of downs, not the fumble. And Tulsa gets the football back, but even so, it creates some momentum on the fumble. Let's see if Tulsa reacts to it, though. Wall across the middle of the tight end carry, and he is stopped at the 42-yard line. Joe Bob Thompson makes the tackle.
A little controlled passing game here, starting off for Michael Wall and the Tulsa offense. Pop it into your tight end. Rice's secondary has done a pretty good job there. They haven't allowed the big play. I thought that Tulsa was going to try to stretch the ball down the field and make some big plays in the passing game. Hasn't happened.
Haven't really attempted many. The one, maybe the interception that Dawson came up with, where they were trying to go back to Corey Brown, who has the TD reception. The pitch, Mosley, his motor running across the 45 of Rice to the 43 for a first down. And Mosley picks up 15, and the chains will move for the Golden Hurricane. And that's a good sign after their opening series. Not much to shout about for TU.
Well, Isham gets a good block on the outside 21, and McMillan does a good job of hanging on, and otherwise he's going to the house. He's got the speed to take it. Mosley does. The senior running back here for Tulsa. He's explosive enough to make big plays on missed tackles.
Isham in motion. And now the pass play to Smith. And Smith to the 35-yard line of the Owls. Pickup of 8 on the reception from Wall. Abear and McMillan make the tackle for the Owls.
Little wide receiver screen. Actually one blocker out front, and that is number 86, Damon Savage. He does a good job of blocking outside for Smith to get down the field for about an 8-yard gain, Bill.
Well, if Tulsa should take it down and score here, I think Dave Rader just take his team to go in the locker room every time after we score and act like it's the start of the half. Once again, impressive looking move. 2nd and 2. Isham again in motion. Wall, the pitch to Mosley. In trouble and hit hard behind the line for the loss. Coming through, Travis Ortega, junior from Rockdale, Texas.
Well, Travis Ortega is at one of those safeties on this Rice Owl defense, who's a big hitter. Watch him at the top of your screen. He's going to come in uncontested, make a big play on Mosley in the backfield. Hey, you get a chance to make a play back there, put a good lick on him. That's a good play by a safety.
Honorable mention all-conference pick in the WAC last year. Ortega makes the stop here, and now Tulsa, 3rd down. Got 2 here. Actually, it's about 5. They got it. Savage danced, juked, and then went forward for a few more. So Damon Savage, you talked about, they need to get on track a little bit. He comes up with a key 3rd down reception. And Ortega and Kubish make the stop.
Well, there's Savage in the bottom of the slot on the screen, and he's just going to fake the block. They've run the slip screen out there with Savage blocking, but hey, I'm going to run by you and catch the ball this time. Good job, good play selection that time by the offense. Michael Wall does a good job of looking out, faking the screen, and throwing it down to Savage.
14 yards on the play. 1st and 10, Tulsa at the 24-yard line. 10 minutes to go, 3rd period. TU down by a touchdown. Wall in trouble. Going deep for the end zone, and it is complete but out of bounds. Savage, the receiver. Abear back there with him. Just out of bounds.
So that ball stayed up in the air a long time. Looked like a lot of Rice defensive players were in the area. But I tell you, when you're around this in the backfield, you're going to take a lick as a quarterback, and you see it here. B.J. Ferguson does a good job coming in, making contact, but the play is out of bounds. secondary, good coverage that time by Rice.
2nd and 10 now. With Savage. Sets up again. Looking for catch number 4. Wall. Rolling out. Got a man. It's Savage inside the 10 and out of bounds. Jason Hebert makes the tackle, and another first down for Tulsa. 1st and goal, Hurricane.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of misdirection plays from Tulsa today, but this one does work for him. It's the counter boot pass. You'll see Savage, he's going to come across the field. All the momentum is coming back towards us, and he's running away from the action. Michael Wall does a good job of catching him, hitting him on stride.
11 a.m. start may have been a bit early for him. He told me yesterday, somebody said pregame meals at 7 a.m. He's all, quit kidding me. No, the coach was serious. Well, he's come out roaring here in the second half. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the University of Tulsa. Mosley trying to pick a hole. Fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jake Jackson from New London, Texas, and Ortega there, making the tackle on Mosley.
Well, this is where Rice's defense has been stubborn this year, Bill. They've done a good job in the red area, the scoring area. Their defense has allowed a lot of field goals, but not a lot of touchdowns when they get down here. So it'll be a challenge for Tulsa's offense to try to punch it in.
Yeah, Coach Rader mentioned it to us yesterday. We have got to do something in the red zone. We need touchdowns in the red zone, not field goals, not stalled drives, not turnovers. So when we get it there, we have to get 6. Let's see if they can come through here. 2nd down and goal from the 9. Isham in motion. Wall to Savage. Nowhere to go, though, for Damon Savage. Covered well that time by the Owls as Dawson from the linebacker spot comes up to make the hit.
Well, Dan Dawson is an outside linebacker. He does a good job of playing out in space, and hey, he doesn't care if it's Damon Savage or not. He's going to come up and put a lick on him. Whoever's got the football and does a good job. He runs through the tackle, locks up, doesn't give Savage a chance to get off and run.
Yeah, didn't wait to Savage try to make a read. No, he just took it to him and right through him. 3rd down now and goal from the 7 for Tulsa. Mosley, the lone back behind Wall. And to throw it. Wall. Got a man in the end zone. Incomplete. McMillan knocking it away from Gerald Smith, the intended receiver. Hung up just a bit, and Smith unable to get to the football with...
Well, watch it right here. You're going to see the receiver on the outside, and Josh McMillan, who's covering him, takes him inside, but watch him get on his hip in his outside pocket. He knows where the throw's going to go, deep to the outside. McMillan breaks on the play. Good job. Almost an interception. If he'd had one more step, he might have came down with it, Bill.
Here is Ernest, the sophomore from Houston, to set up for the field goal. 24-yarder, and it is good. So Ernest hits the 24-yard field goal, and Tulsa tacks on 3. They're down 4.
Knows the most, holds the most, and does the most. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Now get a 99 Chevy Suburban for just $339 a month with $1,800 down payment. Final payment $22,699. Call for details.
Welcome back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Golden Hurricane and the Rice Owls going at it, not far from downtown Tulsa. Out at Skelly Stadium, it's Rice 14, Tulsa 10. Getting dressed up.
I look like a jackass.
Pretty good color.
Proud parents at home, I'm sure. Well-used college dollars. Body paint. The kickoff to Rice. Bradley, the deep man, goes out of bounds and the flag thrown. And Tulsa coaches will have a word.
Out of bounds. Ball will belong to the receivers at the 35-yard line. First down.
Chris Ernest, the kicker.
Well, Bill, this last drive by Tulsa, this big play here that Josh McMillan makes, watch him come up and knock that ball away trying to get it to Smith. Hey, that may loom big in this game. That's a big play in the end zone. Trying to get a score for a touchdown. Hold that Tulsa offense to a field goal.
And now Rice. We'll see what they can do with it offensively. They had the good-looking drive to start, and then Tulsa shut them down. 1st and 10, Richardson. One of the few times today what looked like was a broken play.
Yeah, it was a broken play. Chad Richardson was looking for the crossbuck, which is a tailback behind the fullback. coming in there, and there wasn't anybody back there in the tailback position for him to hand it off to, and obviously a busted play.
2nd down and 11 now coming up. Mallory making the stop that time for the Golden Hurricane. Rice coming off a victory at home over Navy after opening the season with losses at Houston, Michigan, and Texas. 18-13 at Texas. They gave the Longhorns a big-time scare. Now, 2nd and 11 here. Up the middle, yard or two. Tulsa, on the other hand, opened up the season with a victory over Southwest Missouri, 45-21, and then beaten at Oklahoma State, at Texas A&M, at San Jose State by a combined 142-32. Trying to get back in a groove here this week. Rayburn made the tackle that time on the ball carrier Clint Leshper from Thorndale, Texas.
Bill, I think both teams have to take the approach to just throw those previous 4 games out and start from scratch. These teams, if they dwell on those negative things that have happened to them in the past, it's going to be a long, long year.
Flags. Yeah, and Coach Rader mentioned that yesterday, that particularly his quarterbacks trying to tell him that, hey, you've gone against a great defense in A&M, a real good one in Oklahoma State, and a good defense in San Jose. And he goes, sometimes the other guy wins. And you got to realize that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a good player, and hoping his guys can come back. And Wallace played pretty well today.
25-second clock, operator. Please shut off the 25-second clock. 3rd down.
Okay.
Yes, it means he's going to keep it on the field.
Guys saying, well, do I still get paid? Do I get half pay?
No, it's inconsistent, I guess, is what the problem is, and it's not working correctly. So they'll just keep it on the field and give both teams proper notice when they are starting it.
Rice now, 3rd down and 7 for the Owls. Up 14-10. They led 14-7 at the half. Richardson got all day. Incomplete. Oh, my goodness, what a hit at the 50. And Meeks is in pain. Franz combining, I don't know who the other defender was, McCory, I believe, is a sandwiched Evan Meeks.
Well, Todd Franz, the cornerback, does a good job. All he's doing is breaking on the ball. He's at the top of your screen. He's got coverage on another receiver, and Richardson throws it, tries to get it in there to Meeks, but you'll see it. Not going to see it there, but you can watch here Franz breaking on the play, and he's a cornerback, just puts a pretty good pop on Meeks, who you can see there he twists awkwardly, has his foot caught under him, and obviously in pain.
Yeah, Franz had the entire hit in the crossing there of the defenders. Thought McCory might have had something with it. He certainly had something to do with the miss. Ken Hatfield looking on with his club up 4. We'll take a brief timeout as they attend to the injured player. Rice leading at 14-10 with Meeks down. Meeks off on his own power, being attended to, though, over in the Rice sideline. The Owls will have to punt it away on a 4th down and 7. Spencer Braggs is deep as Hale kicks it from about his 25. Braggs will have a chance at the 20. Got away from one man, the 30, and out across the 33-yard line. Spencer Braggs on the return for the Golden Hurricane. And Tulsa will get the football back. Here's that last play again.
Well, what really happens here is the jam at the line of scrimmage. Watch how Franz does a good job of jamming, rerouting Tillman, who has to get through here. If he gets through there, he'll clear, and then Franz will not have a chance to break off the play. I saw Coach Hatfield talking to Tillman, say, hey, you've got to get through him, get away from him. Credit Franz doing a good job with the jam and staying on his man and then breaking to the football.
Yeah, Meeks paid the price for his teammate not getting out of there. Tulsa, 1st and 10, Golden Hurricane from its own 33. Wall, complete, 1st down, I believe. Savage came back to get the football and is right at the 1st down marker.
Yeah, in the previous scoring drive, Damon Savage had 3 catches in that drive for 30 yards and was a big part of that, and now they're coming right back to him. Wall does to the outside. Little drop back pass on time. He's going to throw it to the outside, sets his feet. 6 catches for Damon Savage today, doing a good job.
Savage last year, 7 catches, 119 yards in the Rice loss. As a sophomore, he had 151 yards against Rice. So history says he should have a big day. Up the middle for Bohannon and nowhere. Maybe 2nd and 10 or 11 is Green and Pittman making the tackle for the Owls. 14-10 Rice. Tulsa led 7-0. Rice tied it at 7. Took the lead before the end of the half at 14-7. And then the Hurricane with the field goal by Ernest here in the 3rd period, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, we see Wall in the ball game. We talked a lot about Josh Blankenship, the freshman who's anticipated to play here. I tell you, Michael Wall's done a pretty good job throwing the ball. Good completion percentage. He did have the 1 interception, but it was a tip ball.
Wall again sets up. Going deep this time. Incomplete. Tulsa wanting a flag, and Savage saying, where is it? McMillan was covering on the play.
Well, Josh McMillan, they're throwing him into the hot seat this week. He's running down the field with Savage, and you can see Wall does a good job tossing the ball out there on timing to his big threat receiver. Takes a little step up, gets it out there, and watch McMillan here. He's right on his hip, knocks the ball away, good contact. Hey, the fans here thought it might have been a little early, a little premature contact, but it looked like a pretty good play.
Certainly bang play timing-wise. Savage, 6 catches, 55 yards. Thought he might have a big one there. 3rd and 10 for Tulsa now. Wall out of the shotgun. Incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for Donald Scholes. He was pressured on the play by Jarrett Irwin. So Wall in the offense to the sideline, and the Rice defense is held again.
Pretty good coverage that time by the Rice secondary, doing a good job of carrying the receivers as the zone defense. They carried them through the zone, and Wall, pressured outside by Irwin, has to throw the ball away and outside.
Tulsa to punt it away. Lipscomb stands on his own 29-yard line, and Hebert deep for Rice. Bounces off of him, out of bounds. My goodness, that ricochet, and Tulsa would have had the football at the 25-yard line. But Rice will get possession. It's been a rough day for Hebert on the receiving end of punts in this sun. We're back in a moment. Those two youngsters enjoying the game, even though Tulsa on the short side at the moment. 14-10 Rice. Rice possession of the football. Bill Land, Gary Reasons with you. And Lesper, the ball carrier, but Lesper's play stopped.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains, 1st down.
So it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Rice drive as they push them back 5 with 5:21 to go in the 3rd period.
So Chad Richardson gone the whole way here so far for Rice, a quarterback in this spread option offensive attack. We were expecting to see possibly Jeremy Hurd, the young freshman, come in and give him a spell, at least for a little breather today, Bill. Haven't seen it. Chad's done a very good job to run this offense.
And Rice, you see their rushing yardage. Here's Richardson tacking on more. 30, 35, and Richardson finally brought down by McCory. He'll move the chains, and Richardson most effective.
Well, when you're a linebacker here, watch the bottom of your screen, number 50. Hey, I got to make a decision. Pitch or quarterback? Oops, I made the wrong choice. Chad Richardson just, hey, he knows what he's going to do with the football and turn it straight up the field. Excellent job of reading his keys and taking advantage of a young linebacker.
Well, and Rice has spread it out today. You see Richardson with 59. They've gotten some good work today out of Bradley as usual. Gingrich has been effective as well. They've played a lot of people at the running back position, although Richardson has gone the distance at the quarterback slot. 1st and 10. Richardson again. And Gary, it's hard, I think, for people to understand what kind of shape he has to be in, knowing he doesn't get any plays off.
No, he doesn't take any plays off in this offense. Even the passing game, it's all predicated off of fakes, and he's got to turn those legs. His legs are like pistons running out there all the time like a motor. He never stops. The quarterback has to go all the way through this football game. Coach Hatfield calls him an Iron Man. and you see him kind of bending over a little bit every time he's getting the signal. He's trying to catch his breath and take a little break, but no rest for the quarterback for Rice.
2nd and 7. Gingrich again, and I think he's got the first down. Gingrich just shy of the 50-yard line. Yeah, Coach Hadfield mentioned to us that Jeremy Hurd would play, the freshman from Duncanville, but haven't seen him yet.
Well, Richardson down the line option again. You're going to pitch it out here to Gingrich, get rid of the football, and Gingrich just takes a little lick on the sideline there. Ouch.
And Rice brings it up now. 1st and 10. Now 49-yard line. Lesper. Initial contact, he was able to spin off and pick up a yard or two and get into Tulsa territory. With 3:52 to go here in the 3rd period.
Quentin Lesper getting the handoff inside. He's the keep you honest type of a handoff inside. Hey, I like the attitude of this fullback. Whenever I get the football, he wants to run north and south. You know, a couple of times he's had the ball handed to him today. There have been penalties on those, and I know as the fullback and the guy who doesn't get the ball very many times in this offense, every time he gets it, he wants positive yardage. And hey, don't throw those yellow things when I'm rushing the football. That time you got a couple of yards.
Time of possession, Rice now taking the edge. He's very close at the half, but they're starting to wear down the Hurricane defense. The pitch again, and the 40. And out of bounds on the 30-yard line is Anthony Griffin. So Griffin moving the football and the change for the Rice Owls as the clock at 3:15. And
well, I tell you, this is the kind of thing that happens if you run the play a little bit to stop it on the outside. Clay Johnson, number 50, the outside linebacker, is going to come into the picture. It's going to be Monkey in the middle. Hold it right there. You'll see Johnson's going to be on the left of your screen. Well, come on, go ahead and run it. He's already pitched by him. Does a good job of pitching it outside, but Johnson went for the quarterback that time. He made the mistake last time, didn't know where to go, and they pitched it outside. And that's the kind of thing that this offense does to a defender. Hey, what do I do? Which guy do I take? That's that option attack.
A 21-yard pickup, and Griffin gets it again. This time he is stopped at the 25. Give him 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming up for the Owls. But there again, Ken Hatfield moving those running backs in and on the lineup, giving different people opportunities to carry the football and to keep them fresh.
Well, he's got a lot of running backs he can do that with. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the quarterback depth to do that with Chad Richardson, get him out of the ball game. So they've got some guys on the roster that have played. Ben Wolf, number 11, he's the halfback as well. He played quarterback in high school, and Jeremy Hurd obviously was a highly touted rushing quarterback who's now on the roster.
Bradley run out of bounds, a little bit of a loss on that play. Rice starting to run up some pretty good numbers, though. You saw the first down totals and the rushing yardage at 254 prior to this loss.
Well, Chad Richardson, I tell you, every time he runs down the field, this defense should try to put a lick on him. He does here. Hey, he's got to pay for it, pitch it out there. Hey, it's sacrifice your body when you're the quarterback in an option football team.
He can't say, hey, I don't have the ball anymore. By that time, he's already been planted. Richardson. He's 5'11", but he's a strong 200-pounder. And he's been dishing it out on his end today as well. Tulsa fans wanting the Hurricane to rise here on the 3rd down. Richardson, plenty of time in the pocket. Going for Tillman. Flag thrown as he got pushed on the play. McCory was covering. That was in front of everyone.
Now they're going to call holding on the defense. See the bottom of the screen. This is Akaranko. He's their tallest wide receiver. He's 6'3". He does a good job getting down the field, but a little too much contact by the cornerback. Good call there by the official.
Akaranko, a sophomore from New Orleans, 6'3", 195.
On the defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
He's only had 1 reception this year, but that a big play. No, it doesn't go down as a catch. They move the chains and keep the football.
And what Chad Richardson was liking about that play was a no-contact play. He was able to drop back and throw that ball down there, and nobody hit him. And hey, that's one play he gets to take off.
Give those linemen some credit. When you're used to running that option all day, it's not easy all of a sudden to go into pass blocking. And Richardson keeps it this time for a yard or so. Stumbles at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, a little outside pressure that time by the defense. Trying to pinch from the outside to take away that first option, make the quarterback commit early. Chad was stumbling when he came down the line of scrimmage that time. Good defensive stop that time by Tulsa.
Clock ticking as we're inside 2 minutes here in the third quarter. And Rice, of course, wanting the touchdown to go up and make it a 2-score game, leading by 4 here. The only scoring in the second half has been the field goal from the Golden Hurricane as Ernest hit a 24-yarder. Up the middle, Leshber gets it down to the 11-yard line.
Well, that's a good job of that offensive line, moving people out of there. Heath Fowler and Matt Baldwin, the right guard and center, do a good job of creating some a little hole there for Leshber to go through there. This offensive line, we talked about them earlier, they're not big, they're not powerful, but they do an effective job of blocking to this offensive attack.
Sam Rayburn made the tackle, freshman from Chickasha, Oklahoma. Third and 4 with 1 minute to go in the third period. Ball on the 11-yard line of the Hurricane. Gingrich in motion. And they keep it to the fullback, and whistle blew early there, I thought. Yep.
Off the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Didn't get the play off in time.
Third down.
So that pushes it back a little. And if they don't get the big gainer here, Coach Hatfield may have to go with a field goal.
Well, it's a little more difficult right now with the 25-second clock not operational in the ball game. Chad Richardson can't take it down to the normal time he likes to snap the ball, and they're calling plays from the sideline. Richardson is in a praying mode, getting that signal. He's just trying to rest. Hey, I think it's a good call to call a timeout here. Let his leader, Chad Richardson, get a little breather.
Somewhat similar situation the first half. Third long, they went to the touchdown pass. See him putting it up again here?
There's a chance they'll put it up. I mean, there's not many plays in this Rice offense that they can pick and choose where they want to, how they want to throw the ball down the field. So, what we've seen from Rice throwing the football so far is probably what they've got in for this week. So it's not going to be anything new. I wouldn't imagine for Rice throwing the football.
Rice coming in, throwing only 36 passes on the year, 10 of 36 for 176 yards. But today they've had a touchdown pass, and they are 1 of 6, with that one being for the score. Well, a lot of college football still to go today. Missouri of the Big 12 against Memphis. And then at 6, it's A&M and Texas Tech from the Big 12 in Lubbock. And many of you will see Oregon at Washington tonight from the Pac-10 at 9:15. Those of you in the Texas Ranger viewing area will catch the Rangers and the Angels. The rest on Fox Sports Net will see Oregon at Washington. Dave Rader, concerned look on his face as his team down 4 and a big 3rd and long coming up. 3rd and 9 it's going to be for the Owls.
Well, if I were Ken Hatfield, I'd decide just to try to punch it through. I'd run to the outside, come to the near sideline. The ball's on the far hash, hit at the middle of the field, almost to the hash mark. That down-the-line option has done a good work well for them today outside. I wouldn't be surprised to see that here. See if they can get a little crease and either get the quarterback through a seam or to the trailback.
Third and 9 for Rice. The line of scrimmage, the 16-yard line. 2 wideouts this time for the Owls as Richardson looks to throw in and keeps it. And he's not going to make it. But he's in the middle of the field, and the field goal opportunity should be pretty much in a straight shot. Crabtree will come on to attempt the field goal. Crabtree 3 of 3 on the year, had a 41-yarder against Navy. And
he actually earned WAC special team player of the week last week for his performance. A couple of field goals made in that ball game. He had the deciding kick late in the ball game that allowed the Owls to go on and win.
And his 31-yarder is good here. So Rice goes back up by 7 to end the third period. As time expires in the third, the Owls get the 31-yard field goal from Crabtree and make it a 17-10 game.
With 5:50 to go in the second quarter,
Offer right over there. Well, the field goal by Crabtree, and Derek is still perfect for his career, 9 of 9 in the field goal category. And it's back to a 7-point lead for Rice over the Tulsa Gilman Hurricanes. We move to the start of the fourth quarter. Glad to have you aboard here on Fox Sports Net and WAC Football. I'm Bill Land alongside Gary Reasons as Ken Hatfield's Owls down early 7-0, led at the half 14-7. Tulsa field goal by Ernest, and they matched it to end the third period. And we start the fourth quarter, a 1-touchdown lead for Rice. And the kickoff, a high, short kick. Braggs takes it inside the 15. Across the 20 to the 22, maybe 23-yard line. We'll see where they mark the football. And the Rice Owls controlled the football in the third period. Huffman made the tackle there. 10:48 to 4:12 for Tulsa.
Well, when that offense is clicking for Rice, that's exactly what they do. They eat up the clock, eat up the yardage, and keep that other offense, more importantly, off the field.
Yeah, really, the Tulsa defense has done a pretty good job today. The offense is going to have to sustain a little bit more. If nothing else, give that defense a little bit of a break to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, Michael Wall is still in here at quarterback. We expected to see Josh Blankenship. Dave Rader obviously has not made that decision. I think Wall is doing an effective job. But they've got to get some consistency, and they have to get a few yards running the ball.
Wall rolls out, and it is incomplete, intercepted. The juggling act turns it over. The Owls, Jason Hebert, will get credit for the interception. And Hebert gets his first of the year.
Hebert's their leading tackler for the Owl defense. He's done a pretty good job here. He's in the middle of the field. Go ahead and run the play, and you'll see it's just a little boot action pass and coming across the field here. Hey, the tight end's bobbling the ball, and Jason Hebert puts him right in the mouth. Hey, hangs on to that football. Big play for the Rice Owl defense. Excellent play by the young man from Spring Klein area. He played football at Klein High School.
Carey, the tight end, is the one that was unable to handle the football. Boy, he had a chance for some big-time yardage on that. But Hebert got him right in midstream, and Tulsa has turned it over a second time today on the interception. Lesper up the middle, a yard or two. The Tulsa defense has been put in some difficult situations this year. This is a team that back in '97 was 112th in the nation in total defense. Last year they bumped it to number 42. Huge improvement. This year they're back to 106. But that defensive group, I had a chance to talk to McClure yesterday, so we're trying to tell ourselves is don't even watch the offense. Focus on what we got to do, and when we go on the field, forget how we got there, what put us in that position. Well, they got a big challenge right now, Gary.
Well, that linebacker inside, he's talking from the heart. He knows that they've got to stop a running attack, and it's not easy to do, and things seem to be clicking for Rice.
The pitch out. Bradley across the 25 to the 24-yard line, and it'll be third and short coming up now for the Owls as we start the fourth period. So Rice trying to punch one in here to take a 2-touchdown lead, and Dave Rader, well aware of his team's woes in the fourth period, where they have been outscored 64-7. Last week they led San Jose 10-0, lost 34-10. The Owls step up now for third down and 4. Ball at the 24-yard line of the Hurricane. And the pitch out. Gingrich flying across the 15 and down to near the 11-yard line before Robinson makes the tackle. Damon Robinson out of Mesa, Arizona.
Well, this offense, the way it clicks right now is when you got people that'll block. Look at Bradley out front, number 26, just knocked him off his feet. And Gingrich right through the hole. Hey, that's outstanding execution. These backs are unselfish. Any one of them can get the football, and the other guys who don't get the ball are expected to block. Chad Richardson and company, they're running that football to perfection today.
That time, Bradley rocked Chris Miller to open up that play. The Owls, first down and 10 at the 11. Lesper, nothing that time. The Tulsa defense here trying to force a field goal attempt, if not a turnover. McClure led the way. Jeremy, a senior from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Also Jake Lyon, the defensive tackle, number 90, in on the play.
Well, you don't think that Clinton Lesper is doing a lot inside, getting a half a yard at best. But I tell you, he's keeping that defense honest, because if they don't ever hand off inside, to get those tough yards, the 1s and 2s, those outside plays that have been working well for Rice are not going to materialize. So that's the package that they have to do. They have to show all areas of this running game to make the defense commit.
It paid off on Richardson's touchdown run early in the game when everybody bid on the ball up the middle, or the fake. Here they go to the end zone, incomplete. Richardson trying to go into the end zone to Brandon Manning, a sophomore. 6'4", 245, has yet to make a reception this year.
Yeah, he's covered by a Sean Farley, who's their best defensive player. And thought he might have had a little contact there. That's what Rice was thinking in the end zone. But good coverage, and Richardson had to throw the ball over the top and away. And his big tight end couldn't catch the ball.
Rice tight ends going, man, I remember the pass they threw to me.
For a
you
career,
see one
for
coming.
A season, huh?
That's right. You get excited. You say, oh, I got to catch this one. I don't know when I'll see another one. And there's a timeout called.
Yeah, important decision. Yeah, third down here, about 9 yards to go. They can still get a first down, Bill, inside the 1 yard line. But Chad Richardson going to the sideline to visit with David Lee, the offensive coordinator there, and you see in the red shirt, talking to his young quarterback, trying to find something that'll work here to get this 9 yards. It's not a play that they have in their playbook. They like to go 4 yards a clip. So when you come up at 3rd and long, it's really to the detriment of that offense, and it's a big play for the defense if they can stop them here.
And Rice today with 279 yards rushing, 299 total. They came in averaging just 236, and they're making Tulsa pay. They like to punch this one in. So the rushing total at 288. Richardson, the 20 yards and the TD pass. He's also got the TD run there on the bottom 17 for 65 overall. Damon Savage is 6 catches for 54 yards to highlight Tulsa. They really haven't had Wall, you see 18 of 30, but has not gone back to Brown much other than that opening drive when he had 2 big receptions.
Now, you've seen this running attack that Rice has. If Gingrich look at the yardage that he has, he's getting that pitch to the outside, and I think Chad Richardson's doing a good job of pitching it out, and he's got open space, and Gingrich has made the most of it. You know, coming into this week, he wasn't the top runner there. That was Leroy Bradley, but he's got his opportunity to play today, and he's made the most of it.
This time Bradley cutting a back across the 5-yard line, and he'll make it 4th and a couple. He's at the 4, it looks like, as Miller makes the tackle along with Odom. Gingrich came in today, 18 carries for 31 yards for the year. So, talking about having a banner day. And headed off the field.
Yeah, Rod Bevan, he's their offensive tackle, and he had a knee injury a couple weeks back and actually missed the Navy game last week. They got him back to practice this week, and hopefully he's going to be okay. They miss him at that offensive tackle spot.
A guy who's been a starter for 3 years for this team, and Bevan hobbles off. So they'll come on for the field goal attempt. Crabtree try to go 2 of 2 today. 5 of 5 on the year. And the chip shot is good as he hits the field goal, and Rice gets 3 more after the interception. And the Owls now lead at 20-10. Crabtree hitting the field goal for the Rice Owls from 22 yards out. It's now 20-10 as Tulsa pays for the interception that was picked off by Hebert, although the defense did a pretty good job to hold him to 3. And now the 6-play drive stalling, but ending up in a 3-pointer for the Owls, and they'll kick it off as Grimes used anything deep. But this one he actually hits high, and the wind holds it up, and it's caught at the 28-yard line, and flags thrown, and Tulsa will get possession there.
Can't have to have talked about the wind in this stadium. It's starting to pick up. We look across the field, and we can see the flags are standing straight out. We're getting a little breeze up here in the booth, so I know it's going to affect them on the field. Is at the back now, Tulsa and their offense, and it's going to really assist their passing game.
Officials will talk over the flag here as the Hurricane groups on the sideline. Whack opener for the Owls. Tulsa at 0-1.
Dead ball, delay. On the receiving team, a signal for a fair catch and advance. First down.
All right, you heard the call there. You signal for the fair catch. You cannot try to advance the football, and they did.
Yeah, whenever anyone on that return team, whether it's a punt or a kickoff, any player on the field can call for a fair catch, and it affects the whole team. So the person who actually caught the football did not have a chance. You can look here from the end zone. You'll see as the ball goes up, the receiver in the very, very back, he's thinking, I'm going to come up and make this catch. He's got his hand up. He's waving it, and that affects the whole team. So when the receiver did ultimately catch the football, it affected him, and it's a penalty if you run after the catch.
So Tulsa will have the football, but it's 1st and 10 from the Hurricane 24-yard line. Smith, the man in motion. Wall sets up, going deep, got a man, Savage, oh my goodness, off the fingertips. Savage was there, and Wall aired it out. He just could not come down with it, and I think you'll see his turn his head. A difficult catch it would have been, and Wall holding on to the arm. He ought to be after that toss.
Well, he laid it out about 55, 60 yards. He's going to run a down and out pattern. It's no big deal here. He's just going to run right by the cornerback. He's in deep zone coverage, but he doesn't get behind him. He thinks he's got help, and Savage trying to adjust to the ball, thrown over the top, not able to do it. And I tell you, Michael Wall's holding his arm. He aired it out that time, and see if it has an effect on him later in the game.
That may be an indication why we haven't seen much of the deep ball earlier today. Maybe he's been nursing a little bit of an arm situation. Savage cuts across here to pick up the first down. So a big second down play. When you almost get the home run, they do come back and move the chains on the reception this time. Well, he's still rubbing it, Gary.
Well, I tell you, when Savage catches this ball, it shows you the explosiveness that he has. He catches the ball underneath here, underneath the linebackers. Watch him explode when he catches it. And Jason Abear's got the angle at the right side of the screen coming in, but he can barely catch him, and lucky to get on his hip to knock him out of bounds. Just shows you what kind of player Savage is and the ability to make big plays.
1st and 10, dumps this one out on the flat. And out of bounds.
Corey Brown on the outside, getting a little slip screen again. Get some blockers out in front of him, have a chance to make a big play in the passing game. He had a couple catches early, Bill. We haven't seen a lot from him, but trying to get him back in the football game.
Yeah, Brown, the touchdown catch. He had a 73-yarder this year against Texas A&M on the reception end, so capable of getting the big play. Tulsa down 10 with 11:04 to go, and it's 2nd down now and 5. Wall, plenty of time, drops it again. 1st down and almost to the 47-yard line. Savage again crosses over the middle.
Well, real patient offense here. I like what they're doing. The defense is playing back, playing zone defense. The secondary is back. The linebackers are dropping back, and Wall does a smart thing. Hey, don't force the ball down the field. I got an explosive receiver coming underneath. Hey, he might break a tackle, Savage, as he's done before, and make a big play, but the most important thing, get him 1st down.
Tulsa's got that again. Ball marked to the 48-yard line on a 1st and 10. Hand off Mosley. Mosley breaks the tackle, 45, 40. And Mosley's got another 1st down. John Mosley helping mix it up. Adrian Sadler, Jr. makes the tackle.
We haven't talked a lot about John Mosley, but he's been their leading ground gainer. And interesting story for this young man who's a diabetic. He takes 2 insulin shots a day. He does that self-injection, and he's injecting himself in his offense right now, doing a good job of running. Look at him running on the contact and running right through Sadler.
And Mosley, 14 carries for 46 yards. His best effort, 161-yarder in the opener on 22 carries against Southwest Missouri State.
Substitution infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Tulsa with some strange penalties here at the beginning of the drive with the delay of game and the fair catch called for by a receiver who wasn't going to catch it. And now the substitution. Here's Savage with 8 for 73. He's already passed Hall of Famer Steve Largent and Chris Penn in the NFL. There he is on the list. Wes Caswell, who was a late cut by Indianapolis this year. Dan Bitson, a terrific receiver. And of course, Howard Twilley for the Dolphins for so many years. So some big names on that list. Wall, plenty of time again. Got a man, Smith, but he couldn't hang on. Had to go up. He got popped at the point of catching the football. I think there was McMillan again. Well, he's made some impressive plays today.
Well, McMillan's a pretty explosive quarterback. Does a cornerback. He does a good job here coming up and making contact. Smith should catch his football. He's got it right on time. He goes up, should catch that ball, but McMillan pops him from behind and knocks him loose.
And with 9:50 to go here in the first half, 9:51 of the ball game, I should say. It's 2010 Rice. Tulsa, 2nd and 15 after the penalty. Scholl breaking outside, lost the football, but out of bounds. Donald Scholl's on the reception. Bedford made the tackle.
Scholl's got the wide receiver screen, and Bedford does a good job from his safety. Actually, is a nickel back in the game right now for the secondary. Comes through and just finds his way through the blockers and makes a play on the sideline. Minimal gain for Tulsa.
Now 2nd and 15 becomes 3rd and 13 after just a pickup of 2. As Wall is now thrown for 200 yards today, but a big 3rd down coming up here. 3rd and 13. Number 41 in trouble, and he is sacked, going to be brought down near midfield. The wall collapsed on him. Jake Jackson, 54, was there. And also Judge Smith, number 96, the senior from Plano, Texas.
Well, a lot of J's on his defense with Jake Jackson, Judge Smith, Jason Hebert, and the company. But, you know, trying to get timing to throw the ball downfield. You got your leading receiver, Savage. He's open in the middle of the field, but the protection where the quarterback breaks down, and the sack, it's a big play by the defense.
And now Tulsa will appear to punt it away. Casey Lipscomb stands on his own 39-yard line. Hebert, the deep man, on his 10 for Rice. Hebert trying to put it in the corner. Got a nice bounce, and Tulsa will down the football inside the 5-yard line. So they've got Rice backed up with 8:52 to go, but Tulsa down 10. We're back with more in a moment. We're in Tulsa on the campus of the University of Tulsa, where the Golden Hurricane is trailing in the 4th quarter. Welcome to Skelly Stadium. Bill and Gary Reasons with you here. WAC football action as Rice backed up on a 4th quarter situation. More room and more time on the clock that you can eat up with a 10-point lead. So Tulsa, yeah, they got good field position here. They have to stop them pretty much on this first set of downs.
You're exactly right, Bill. They need to stop this Rice offense, get them off the field, and obviously stop the clock from running. They're down. They need to get the ball back in the offensive hand.
Gingrich with a flag thrown, stopped at the 10-yard line. Tulsa on that last possession had the ball for 9 plays and 3.5 minutes, but didn't get anything out of it. And they give it back to Rice, and now the Isles facing, we'll see what happens here with the penalty. It's going to be against Rice.
An interesting call here. I don't know whether they take this or not. They got an injury on the field and a referee timeout.
And we just saw Evan Meeks go off on the golf cart with some crutches. The wideout for the Rice Owls, and now Tulsa with a player down. It's Chris Miller who was down.
Their free safety.
Tulsa missing 5 starters last week in the San Jose game, and injuries certainly part of the game, but particularly for these schools that may not have the depth as some of the other universities in college football, the depthing becomes a more critical factor in injury situations.
Well, both these schools, because of the academic standards that they have, it lessens the pool of available players to them, and injuries, like you said, Bill, the depth is not necessarily there. Now look here, you're going to see him go as you run the play, and he's up in there. He's a free safety. Looks like he's playing a linebacker, and he gets up in the pile here and takes the fullback on low, and the pile just comes on top of him, and looks like he's stretched out there.
Yeah, did the splits whether he wanted to or not, but
yeah, a lot of weight coming down on top of this young man, and he's a free safety. I talked to Pat Henderson, the defense coordinator. I said, hey, are you going to make some substitutions, get some bigger bodies out there to run to put it out there against this Rice offense the way they run? He said, no, we want to put our skilled people out there, and that included Chris Miller because they're better in space on his option attack.
Well, and for Rice here, Ken Hadfield can't be too disappointed, Gary. He's got a nice little timeout for his quarterback, Richardson, with 8:14 to go. Said, all right, you get a breather, big fella. We're not going to be making any subs in your position here, as Miller, thankfully, is all right and being helped off the field. But Richardson,
well, he's gone the whole way at quarterback for the Owls offense, and he's done a very good job of it today. And, you know, it's kind of a cool day here, Bill. It's about 75, 77 degrees, something like that. And it's not taking a toll on him like it could have if it had been a lot hotter.
A lot more to go college football-wise here on Fox Sports Net. Missouri and Memphis coming up next at 2:30. And then Texas A&M and Texas Tech in the Big 12 in Lubbock. And most of you will see Oregon and Washington tonight for the Pac-10 at 9:15. The best here on Fox Sports Net. Richardson the keeper, and he is brought down. On the 3rd down and 5 situation, he's short of the first down, needed to get to the 15, and Dixon made the tackle. So the Tulsa fans realize they should get the football back here.
Well, watch McClure come down the line of scrimmage just to shed the blocker and come in and set his feet and make the tackle on Chad Richardson, who's an elusive quarterback. Hey, good job of breaking down, don't overcommit, make the play, stop him bring up 4th down.
Defense gets a nice round of applause as Richardson and the Owl offense head to the sidelines, and Hale comes on. And if Tulsa's got a punt block, might be the time. They're going to take the return opportunity with the wind in the face, and they've got everybody but the deep man going after it, and the punt into the wind, a dandy as Braggs goes back to get it on a Rice roll at the 23. And brought down at the 27-yard line. Great coverage by the Owls as a 64-yard punt, and Hale gets congratulations. We're back with more in a moment on Fox Sports. The crowd at Skelly Stadium hopeful of the comeback by the Golden Hurricane. They're down by 10. 7:03 remaining as Dave Rader looks over the situation and sees, whoa, rushing the football, not today. 28 yards. 68 below the average with 7 minutes to work with here, and the incompletion on the 1st and 10.
I don't think they need to complicate things. They're running some complicated routes for these receivers. The defense is just dropping back and playing zone defense, and they're breaking up on the shorter routes. They had 2 receivers cross in the middle of the field, and looks like they're trying to fool the defense, but they're just laying back and letting Tulsa self-destruct.
Time of possession also a huge story as Rice owning that version here. Savage, 30-yard line and out of bounds. 3rd and long still coming up. And a flag thrown, maybe a late hit.
A little wide receiver screen to the outside, and Michael Wall trying to get the ball outside. They're trying to break one here. They're trying to get a block. So you see the penalty here. It's going to be a personal foul, probably a late hit out of bounds at the end of the play. You can see here, just a slip screen to the outside, and watch from the inside out the pursuit of Rice's defense coming down. That's all zone coverage there coming down. It's popped him out of bounds. It's actually one of the blockers that's blocking, and it wasn't on Savage, so it wasn't on the player going out of bounds.
No, Bedford is the one that knocked Savage out of bounds. That was legal. It was a player following the play for Rice that got tagged with that. So now Tulsa, 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Wind at the back. Let's see what they can do with this break. The handoff. Mosley turning the corner. Scampers out of bounds inside the 45. At the 44-yard line of the Owls. 1st down. He picks up 11, I think it is, and Tulsa will move the chains again, and more importantly, the clock stops.
I think it's just short of the 1st down, Bill, maybe 2nd and 1. They caught it stepping out of bounds about the 44-yard line.
You are correct, sir. The Wall quickly now out of the shotgun. Fakes to Mosley. Brings it back to Brown. 35. And 30, and that is a 1st down. Corey Brown slips through, and Brown.
Well, Rice's defense now, they're rolling the young defensive lineman in there, trying to keep some fresh pressure on this quarterback. The guys are coming up. They're only rushing 4 here, and it's just a slip screen again to the outside. Get your lineman out front to block. They're hoping they're going to stick on these blocks and pop through for a big play, but Good job that time for Rice, playing off the blocks and making the tackle.
Brown's best day this year, 5 grabs, 75 yards. That was good for 14 and a first down at the 30 of the Owls. Wall, again complete. And Savage stayed in bounds. He danced, no he didn't. Thought he might have another yard or two. He tried to dance down that sideline. And 22-yard line is where it will be marked.
Well, he's coming across the field again. He's had this play all day for him underneath the linebackers and let him run with his speed. The smart thing that Damon Savage does here is he gets to the sideline, gets out of bounds, and most importantly, stops the clock. You know, with 6:15 left to go in the ball game, Bill, down 10 points, they need to save every precious second that they can because they know when Rice gets the ball again, they're going to start that clock running.
Savage, double-digit catches today. Wall rolls out, got a man, and it's complete for the first down. Fumble the football. Rice is recovered. The Owls recover the football. Coming up with the fumble recovery for Rice. Number 30 makes the play, and the Owls, Dan Dawson, once again to the rescue. He had an interception earlier today. Dawson's been all over the field.
Well, on the right side of your screen, you're going to see it. I believe it's Adrian Sadler comes up for 47. Pittman's going to make the tackle here. Dawson's there. Dawson pulls the ball out with Pittman, and he falls on it, Dawson does, for the recovery by Rice. Big turnover, big key play by the defense.
Dawson the initial hit, Dawson the fumble recovery, and Pittman there to help him out with it. And Tulsa's third turnover of the day, and this one, with that Rice offense, might seal it. Owls with a 10-point lead, 1st and 10 from the Rice 20. You know, if you thought Rice was reluctant to pass before, what do you think they're going to do now?
They're going to run, give it to the fullback inside, take some pressure off my quarterback, as he's going to say. That's what Kent Hatfield will say. And
Leshber that time the fullback, got a couple. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Owls. Tulsa's Brad Hawkins. There's a problem with the helmet. Now the Owls bring it out. Clock moving. 5:32 to go. Richardson on the option. Gets away from one tackler. Then just takes the brunt of the hit short of the 30-yard line and stays in bounds, most importantly, as Burgess made the tackle.
Well, he's a senior quarterback, and he makes a good decision here. He's running the option down the line here. You know, at the end of the play, he has an opportunity to pitch the ball and possibly get 1 or 2 more yards, but more importantly, he says, no, I'm going to hang on. Don't have anything bad happen to our offense in their side of the field.
Yeah, he knows the situation here that if you don't turn it over, you're not going to give Tulsa an easy one. And at this point, it would appear to be the only way Tulsa's going to have a shot is they're going to have to create the turnover and get a short yardage score to have any opportunity to come back. The Owls. And there is a fumble, and Tulsa says, we've got it, and they do. Oh, my goodness. The Hurricane comes right back and gets the football at the 30-yard line as Gullett makes the fumble recovery. The 5'10" senior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Well, watch the top of your screen. Number 92 is going to put his hat right on the football. Do a good job of pulling it out. It comes up. Big play by the Hurricane defense. That's what you need to do is stop this offense. Get when the ball comes up, McClure pops on top of it.
McClure and Gullett both right there to make the play. And Gullett caused fumble. Taquan Gullett, former walk-on here. Got a story behind him if we had time, we'll tell you. As this one, his pass is complete to Brown, and he's across the 25. A couple of Rice players slow to get up on that, and they have an official's timeout with 4:23 to go. That is the case. There is Gullett.
Yeah, interesting story about Gullett. He was a walk-on here. He was recruited out of high school by Southern Missouri University and came here 2 years ago, and actually walked on to this university. And strange story about this young man. He was a walk-on. To pay his bills, he was actually selling his blood plasma. And he held down a couple part-time jobs at the time. And I tell you, Dave Rader found that this young man wanted to play football. He was dedicated to it, and he earned a scholarship this year.
And they say blood, sweat, and tears have been given up. They mean it in this guy's case. Here is Wall on the rollout on 2nd and short. He loses yardage and loses the football out of bounds. Tulsa will keep possession. But a big defensive play is Ferguson, B.J. Ferguson up there, and you see what remains of Michael Wall in the uniform as the shirt pulled on underneath the pad.
I think that was Wesley Kubish, the linebacker, came around and did a good job of containing Wall on the outside and almost made a big play. One of the other defenders for Rice tried to knock the ball back in bounds, but it had already touched the wide line.
3rd down for the Hurricanes. See 3 on the screen. It's actually more like 7. Over the middle. Savage, nothing doing that time.
Well, they've run that play quite a bit today, Bill. We've talked about it. The underneath route to Savage. Try to get him the ball underneath and make a big play here. Savage just going to be at the top of your screen. Just going to be a little hitch play. Get the ball to him on timing. Right across here, you're going to see him catch the ball and then take the lick there by Sadler from the outside. Good tackle by the cornerback coming up. It's just a zone defense and break up and make the play.
Clock still running. 4th and 6 for the Hurricane, and now they call a timeout. Precious seconds ticking off the clock before the Hurricane finally calls a timeout. And Wall realizing, hey, there's no reason at this point to hurry. If I'm not sure exactly what I got here, we don't get the football taken care of here and get a first down, ball game for all practical purposes is going to be over.
Could be a big 4th down play, a little more than 5 yards to go, and they've got to make sure everything is in place so that they can, be successful on this play.
Missouri and Memphis is next as the Tigers go on the road and take on the Tigers of the University of Memphis. Stay tuned for that right here on Fox Sports Net. It'll be coming up at 2:30. All part of a quadruple header for many of our college football fans. Later on, Texas Tech and Texas A&M. Here in the WAC, Rice trying to get back-to-back victories. Last week, finishing up the non-conference with a win over Navy. Tulsa trying to break a 3-game losing streak, but in dire straits at this point with 3:26 to go. And remember, about 2 days ago, those keys to victory? How about them for the Rice Owls? Let's see how they've done.
Well, we can talk about what they've tried to do here. 4 yards per carry on the ground. They've obviously eclipsed that coming into the second half. 6 yards or better ball control, obviously in the favor of the Owls with the time on the clock. And the takeaway giveaway. The defense has taken some balls away, had some fumble recovers, interceptions. Good job there. Now for Tulsa, they had to spread the ball to the receivers. They've done that. They have not stretched the defense, though. Haven't thrown the ball down the field. And the big thing here, run when they need to. Have not been able to accomplish that today. Thus, the offensive performance is not what Dave Rader would like to have today.
37 yards rushing for the Hurricane for the day. Smith on the 4th down, spins, got the first down across the 20-yard line. Great effort by Gerald Smith. Clint Johnson made the tackle. When he caught the football, he was not at the first down territory.
Good effort that time by Smith. Breaking away from tackles, just spinning, getting the first down. That's a very big play.
And now Tulsa setting up. Hurricane with 2 timeouts remaining. 3:10 to go, down 10. Wall fires, intercepted by the Owls at the 10. I think this is Hebert again. He needs a block and he'll go. Hebert out of bounds. And the Owls with Hebert's 2nd interception of the afternoon. And Michael Wall's the man that ran him out of bounds.
Well, Jason Hebert knows how to go, make a play. Quarterback Michael Wall's going to have pressure on him. That's why he doesn't throw the ball out to where he wants to. He delivers, but he can't complete the throw. Good pressure that time. And Jason Hebert just sitting in the hole does a good job at his free safety spot, taking the ball, running downfield, hey, trying to get some yardage. You know he's trying to say hello to Mama with that one. He's one of 11 children in his family, Jason Hebert is, and big part of this Rice secondary.
No wonder he's greedy when something comes his direction. It's got to be a fight at the table every night just to have dinner.
Hey, he knows how to go get it. He's a big hitter. He's the leading tackler on that defense and really the heart and soul of this club.
All being consoled by Coach Rader as Wall had completed 7 in a row before that interception, and Rice will now try to seal this one by keeping it on the ground, and they do on the first down carry that picks up a first down out to the 50-yard line by Gingrich. And the clock continues to roll for the Owls.
Well, if I'm Ken Hatfield, I think our team came in here and did what they want to do. He's saying to these guys, hey, come in, control the football, make good things happen, defensively create some turnovers, put our offense in good situation. Those are the things that Ken Hatfield wanted to accomplish coming in here, and they accomplished those so far in the ballgame.
Richardson, who's gone the distance today, hands it off. Gang tackling on Gingrich.
Mike Gingrich with the football. Todd Brown defensively.
Timeout by the University of Tulsa here with 2:15 to go. As Ken Hadfield looks on. And it'll be 2nd and 10
Be sure to come out
coming up.
next weekend
Tulsa
on
now
Friday
with
and
one
Saturday as
timeout
the TU
remaining.
volleyball team plays
And if they
host
can
to
stop them
Hawaii
here,
and
they'll get a
University
chance
of
to get the
Texas
football
El
back.
Paso.
But remember, they need 2 scores.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough way to come back against this team. Actually, this Rice defense is playing extremely well. We've seen how few yards they've allowed on the ground, and obviously making the big plays in the secondary, coming up and making sure tackles and not letting the receivers from Tulsa go down and make big plays in the passing game. So I credit Rice's defense. They've played very, very well today. I know that their defense coordinator, Roger Henshaw, is really pleased and had a good attack coming in here against this Tulsa bunch.
Well, on the year, 323 is what they've been giving up total defense, 2nd in the WAC. Today, Tulsa at 275. That 323 is really impressive, Gary, when you look at playing a Texas and a Michigan and a Houston that can get it going pretty good offensively, that their team has really been sound defensively throughout the season.
Yeah, and you see the quarterback, he knows that things have not gone well for him in his offense today. And, you know, Michael Wall, he's a guy that this offense needs to come up and produce. He's played well in spots today, but overall has not had a very good ball game.
And Rice today getting the turnovers. That had not been the story for them early in the season, and it has been today. Leshber, and the timeout will be called by Tulsa again, as it'll be 3rd now and around 9. The clock stops at 2:10 to play. And Tulsa's all done with the timeouts.
Yeah, Dave Rader making some notes there. He's probably thinking about what he's going to tell these kids after the ball game, and you know what areas we're deficient in and what areas we need to improve in. You know, he's got to find a way to get this team and their season going the right way. He's had a lot of time here with not a lot of success. They haven't had a winning season here since 1991, and coming into this ball game, you know, he only had 39 wins with 64 losses, and that's a 38% winning percentage. Yet the administration here in the athletic department extended his situation here at the end of last year by 4 years, and you know, they made a commitment to Dave Rader and his staff and what their program was about, as well as to the commitment to the facilities here at Tulsa University, which go beyond not only the athletic department, but other facilities on campus for everyone. So, you know, although Dave Rader has not had a lot of success in the win column, you know, the total consensus about him and the program here is that he's the man for the job, and they're solidly behind him, and the players love to play for him.
49 victories, and this is 12th year, but it is much bigger than that, certainly. Ken Hadfield, 6th year at Rice, and really hard to just measure in wins when you look at his record of 27, 31, and 1 there. I mean, he has made Rice a viable football team, and doing it with an offense that makes it very difficult for opponents to prepare for every week. As the sack is here by Tulsa, and Richardson brought down. Big play by Mallory, and Tulsa will get the football back now with 2 minutes to go, with the clock running, and Rice will take it down before they punt. But Hadfield has really done a great job with the Owls, and they have a chance to be very competitive in this WAC every week.
They do. They really do. This offense is one you can't prepare for all the time. The practice that these teams do in preparation for this offense, it can't be at the same speed it is in game speed. This offensive team for Rice, when they're clicking, when they hit all their holes, all their assignments, hey, it's just tough to defend. And I like these quarterbacks in the option attacks. I think they're kind of like sleight of hand magicians, because when they go down the line of scrimmage, hey, I'm going to put it in here, I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to pitch it out here, I'm going to run. These things that they do at the quarterback position are really magical, and it really sets a defense, you know, on its heels, and they don't know how to defend it.
Rice took the clock all the way down and then called a timeout. They now have 1 remaining. The Owls, the other thing, be interesting here, because you mentioned different fields every week. Next week, they travel to Hawaii. So, and chalk up another different surface, and they go against June Jones' team that Hawaii's playing pretty good football right now. Now, they had a couple of easy touches early to give them some confidence, but they came back and won at SMU last week. Hawaii's at home tonight to take on UTEP. And Rice goes over there and meets Hawaii, and then they come back home. They've got a chance if they can go win. You see the schedule here. they go win at Hawaii and start off 2-0, then 2 in a row at home, they're in great shape.
Well, they're in good position in the conference. Going to Hawaii, it's going to be similar to this ball game. June Jones and that bunch out there, you know his background is run and shoot, 4 wide receivers, and they run that offense to perfection, and they're doing a good job of it out there. The Hawaii bunch hasn't had a lot of success. They've had some recent wins, and a lot of people out on the islands are very, very happy about that program right now.
Okay, the Owls will now punt it away here as the Rice cheerleaders happy about the result here with 1:20 to go. Tulsa coming on, can't get to it for the block. Braggs fields it inside the 15, slips by 1, and stuffed at the 20-yard line. So Tulsa will get it with 1:08 remaining, no timeouts, and down 20-10. Hale's done another nice job today for the Owls in the punting game. The freshman from Duncanville off that state championship 5A team down there last year.
Well, Bill, we talked about Michael Wall coming in here at quarterback position. Expected to see Josh Blankenship. That has not happened today. Dave Rader decided to go with his junior quarterback and let him go the entire ball game as he's coming out on the field again here. But Josh Blankenship, he has some tools. I watched him on film, and I think that he's got a bright, bright future ahead of him. He throws the ball very well, and he's got good footwork in the pocket. I think Tulsa fans would be happy with his play, here in the future.
Wall completes this one on 1st and 10 at 35-yard line, but Tulsa will hustle up as the clock will continue to move as soon as they reset the chains. Irwin made the tackle. Wall with the signals, and they're ready to go. Clock starts again. Inside a minute now. From the 35, Wall throws it away. The Hurricane a week off and a chance to regroup before they go to TCU on the 16th, and then they'll host Hawaii. And that'll be a game that we'll have for you on Fox Sports Net, as well as that San Jose Rice game on the 16th in Houston. 2nd and 10 for Tulsa. 52 seconds to go. And again, intended for Smith, but out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd down now for the Hurricane.
Most impressive thing, I think, in this ball game for this Rice defense is how well they played in the secondary. I know they've stopped the run up front very well, but the secondary play, when you have these wide receivers in this offense that Tulsa's running, it's a tough day, and you know you're going to be tested. And this Rice secondary has done a very good job. So all the way around with Abear and Ortega and Dawson and McMillan and Adrian Satter. Those guys have really done the task in the secondary.
3rd down. Wall escaped a couple, then completes it at the 45, and a 1st down. Yeah, they're going to mark the football about the 47-yard line.
And the Wall scrambles out of the pocket and gets the ball outside. Looks like they're going to be moving the sticks, getting up there for a hurry up again, and that was LeCrone on the reception on the outside.
LeCrone's 1st of the day, 2nd of the year. Johnson, the man that was bumped off, that was trying to chase Wall down, and 1st and 10 for the Hurricane. That's not the problem. 30 seconds remaining in the game is at the 47 of TU. Going down the middle and off the fingertips of the intended receiver, and Tulsa again on the just miss Corey Brown, and Brown, he's hurt.
He fell on his right shoulder, looked like, and he's coming up and holding it as he goes to the sideline, and hopefully he's going to be okay for this Tulsa offense.
He was open.
He stretched out trying to catch that football and came down awkwardly.
21 seconds remaining. Incompletion stopped it, and now 31 of 50 for Wall, right at his 60+% that he's been on the year. 1 for a touchdown. In trouble. Dumps it, and at the 40. 1st down, better get out of bounds if he can, and he'll stop at the 38-yard line. Scholes, the receiver. Tulsa will run up to the line as the clock stops until they can set the chains. 10 seconds remaining. Dawson made the tackle. Well, they got to go to the end zone.
The clock's running here, and they've got to put it down there.
Everybody go deep, and Wall puts it up near the 10-yard line, and it goes incomplete out of bounds, and that's the end of the ball game. The Rice Owls have never lost to the University of Tulsa as they continue to own this series 4-0-1 with a victory today. 20-10, the Owls over the Golden Hurricane as Ken Hatfield with a congratulations from Dave Rader. And Hatfield and the Owls have now made it 2 in a row on the plus side. They go to 2-3 on the year, 1-0 in their WAC opener, and Tulsa drops to 1-4, 0-2 in the Western Athletic Conference. We'll be back. Stay with us. Our final score, Rice 20, Tulsa 10. Rice with a 20-10 victory over the Tulsa Golden Hurricane on a beautiful afternoon here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Owls led 14-7 at the half, and they end up with a 20-10 victory. For Gary Reasons, Bill Lamb, thanks for joining us. Our final score again, Rice 20 and Tulsa 10. And Gary, you look at this big win, and boy, Richardson played his heart out today.
Chad Richardson, the quarterback, has done a very, very good job for this team. But the defense, I think, is what really came up big here. You see Jason Hebert with the interception. This defense from Rice came up big, stopped this Tulsa offense in its tracks. Couldn't get anything going on the ground, and obviously their secondary played very, very well all day. Everything clicked for the Owls, and I know Ken Hatfield's very happy.
Hebert, a couple of interceptions to help seal it for him. Wall, a big passing day, but could only get him to the end zone one time today as Rice kept the pressure on him throughout the afternoon. And the Hurricane a week off before they play at TCU. Rice travels to the islands to meet the University of Hawaii. Once again, our final score, Rice 20, Tulsa 10. Coming up next, it's the University of Missouri to take on the Memphis Tigers. You've been watching WAC football on Fox.